Hello? Hello. Everybody, happy Friday. Welcome to the weekend, man. Haha, brilliant. And what a weekend we have. Do you know, across the pond, Nallison Johnson stream, it's all happening now. Speaking of which, of streams, I'll let you know more details later, but our good friend Q8 Pilot, just after passing 100,000 subscribers, well, he's doing a stream to celebrate, also happening tomorrow evening. So we'll have more details of that. But first, friends, well, what are we up to this evening? We continue our flight to the Bremen. As we transition from the Airbus A320, tonight we're going to fly in the Boeing 737. Quite the change, you might say. As we continue with leg 2 of our commemorative series celebrating the historic Bremen flight. The Bremen, of course, flew in 1928, and it was the first time a fixed-wing aeroplane flew from the west to the east across the Atlantic Ocean. It took off from Baldonnel on April 12th, and it landed in a place called Greenland Island in Canada 2 days later. 36 and a half hours, mind you. So we're departing tonight from Keflavík, Bravo India Kilo Foxtrot in Iceland, and we're going to ramble over to a place called, I can't pronounce it, it's Narsarsuaq. Right, it was a good attempt. Bravo Golf Bravo Whiskey. That's in Greenland. So when we look at, Boeing and Junkers in the late kind of 20s, well, during the late 20s, both Boeing and Junkers, well, they were both pioneering companies when it came to aviation, albeit with very different focuses and contributions. Junkers, by the time of the Bremen flight in 1928, was already known for the innovative all-metal aircraft, such as the W33, with this aluminium something material, right? Junkers had this very kind of galvanized look to it. Dura-aluminium or duralium aluminium was class looking. The company was at the forefront of this, and it was some sort of a copper alloy. It made the aircraft durable and relatively lightweight, and Junkers aircraft were recognized for the just strength, the robustness. You can get these things in and out of many places. In actual fact, here's one for you, right? The W33 could be fitted with floats. Mental stuff altogether. Boeing, however, well, they were making significant strides in the United States, particularly with the development of the Boeing 40, the P-12. They were focusing on biplanes primarily designed for mail transportation and then military applications. They emphasized on speed and reliability. The company was beginning to lay the groundwork for what would become a leading role in commercial and military aviation. Here's a guy not reading this at all. We're also going to take a closer look at the Bremen crew. Tonight we'll focus in on Captain Herman Cole, Major James Fitzmaurice and Baron Gunther von Hunfeld, the three men who, the Musketeers of the Air. In fact, I actually have a book that I have over there, the Three Musketeers of the Air. These were adventurers, pioneers. These guys wanted to do something very, very difficult to cross the Atlantic against the wind. Madness, absolutely madness. It was all done a year after the Spirit of St. Louis flew. And well, last week we took off from Baldonnel and we flew all the way up here to Keflavík. So the flight we're kind of following, it was done back in 2003. It marked the 75th anniversary of the Bremen flight, and the Irish Air Corps and the German Air Force both supplied an aircraft each, and they flew this particular route. They went from Ireland, Iceland, Greenland into Goose Bay, Canada, until they got down towards Greenland Island. Took them a couple of days to do it, but it marked just the 75th anniversary. This year marks the 96th year, lads. 96 years ago, they were doing this. So, well, we're doing something kind of similar, albeit we're taking airliners, because they're fun, do you know? So that's kind of the stamp of it now tonight. That's what we're up against. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different in relation to our flight planning. I could just load in SimBrief and ask it to pick us a route, but it's pretty much going to take us out over the sea. So I'm going to use Navigraph. And there's a reason why I'm doing this, because I'm going to show you something fairly awesome here now in a second. So you can go off and do that while I'm doing the flight planage. You see, we think of everything here. Do you know what I mean? How's your week going? Is there anyone here in the chat?
Good morning.
In our studio audience? Is there anyone going to be flying with Cross the Pond tomorrow? Or perhaps you're just going to, ramble in and have a listen to all the madness. Kickoff is at around 12:30, I believe. And, well, it's going to be busy. 1,000 planes are going to cross the Atlantic. And they're going this direction, mind you. Crazy stuff. Anyway, who's here? Look, welcome in. Kaharia, the lovely Kaharia. You're very welcome aboard. Happy Friday. Hope you're well. Airlock Doc rambles in, although the poor devil has a migraine. Well, I very much appreciate you jumping in to say hello and best of luck to everyone tonight. Thank you very much indeed, Airlock. Super Typhon rambles in. Welcome aboard. Sun Jammer is here. Captain Sickbag. Happy Friday to you, my guy. Tarnish Mossman. Friday Flyage. Tonka for the win, baby. Yes, the Tornado has been released by India Fox Echo. I'm expecting to see at least 7. At least 7, right? As we fly tonight. Toto is in the house. Good to see you. Now, let me see. Now, Aurora Borealis. I'm also showing off SimFX from Parallel 42, right? Now, I showed this off a while ago. And I was impressed so far of what it could do, but in the state in which I showed it off, well, I kind of realised it did something incredibly stupid. I was all, this is brilliant and the best thing ever. When really it wasn't at the time because, well, it didn't really work right. So it's back now tonight. I will have it running and we'll get to see it kind of as it's pretty much going to be released. They are waiting on Sim Update 15 to, release it to the mass general public. But you might have known from the thumbnail, there was a shooting star.
Pull the big switch, good buddy.
There's all stuff happening. Adam Controls has raided with a party of raiders. Welcome in, man. He's gone off now to, pluck his eyebrows, shave behind his ears, brush his hair and comb his teeth in preparation for controlling Dublin tomorrow. Adam, you're very welcome in. Welcome in, raiders. Hope you guys had a great stream controlling the airspace of Dublin. You're very welcome in. So, SimFX, we'll have it running in the background, but you might have seen a shooting star. Well, there's a feature that's included with SimFX, so we'll check it all out, and your decision if you like it or you don't like it. You know what I mean? I have some information on it, but I'll dial it down a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I'm learning, lads. Do you know? I'm learning. Just the amount of comments I got over the last 24 hours about, Active Sky and how great it is. Did I miss something? I still can't log into it. It's not 24 hours yet. Did I miss something? Like, I didn't say it was crap. But I kind of did, right. There's things I like about it, but like things I'm not mad about it. Do you know what I mean? Gibbo just sent me a very important message that's going to cost me actual money. No! Verpal have just announced a new throttle. But there doesn't seem to be many buttons on it, Gibbo. Anyway, we'll ramble on and see how we're getting on. I've new music in everything tonight. Where would you get it, right? Pay a bit of tunage here. Now, let me see. Who's in? I'm over here, look. Dragon, welcome aboard. Sterling is in the house. Happy Friday. Vince C is here. Nighthawk, he says, afternoon, everyone.
Hello there.
Ready for my first Firefly Air Phoenix flight. Nice, man. Awesome stuff. Martel, good to see you. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce and wolfy. Welcome aboard, my dude. Cyrus T. How are you, Murph and Fireflies? Hello, Cyrus T. How's she cutting? You're looking well. Razor Cab is here. Night Zep, good to see you. Dougal McTavish, the chairman. Hello, Dougal. Now, Willow, how much? Happy Friday. Liptorius is in the chat. Hemming Bird is here. She says, I almost got fired today. They accused me of stealing breeze blocks. Luckily, they didn't have any concrete evidence. Happy Fly Day. Welcome in, welcome in. I'll be in a flight in about 3 hours. A real world flight. Hello there. A real flight. The Jesus. Sir Campsalot, you're very welcome in. Hope you're well, man. Kanzui is here. Hello, hello. Viper Strike rambles in. He says, how are you, Murph and Fireflies? I took out the 737-600 on stream from, Jesus, Osquian, Paraguay, out to Uruguay. Just good man yourself. Getting all the t-shirts, Viper. That's what it's about. Now, let me see. Airwolf, welcome aboard. Spitfire, RAF 100. Happy Friday to you, my guy. Now, let me see. Wombat 49 is here. Wombat, did you get the Tomcat? Oh no, the Tornado. Did you get the Tornado as well? Come on, listen, you have them both. Jesus, you have the Tomcat. Of course he made it. Some say that's all he wears. Wombat, you're very welcome in. Shuffle Shoes, Shuffles in. AJH, man. Captain Gaiman is here. What up, my dude? He says, hey-o, Captain Gaiman. Vegas is getting shocking close now, right? And where are you at the whole Crocs purchasing decision, right? What's the status on the purchasing of your future endeavourment of buying Crocs? It's very important. No, I forgot the Tornado. They're all tubes for me. Oh, Jesus. Kaharia says, it's the weekend. Can't get any better. Nice people. We are flying and some nice food over here. Nice. What you having? Tell us, is it nice? Well, you just said it's nice. You have to explain, do you know? Right, where are we at? Rambog Mord is in the house. He says, time to try out the Phoenix for real. Right, that needs its own theme song. Welcome aboard, my dude. Quasar Core, thank you very much indeed. 24 months, man. Holy mother of you're welcome in. Great to see you. Sean Dale, good to see you. Looking forward to this one, he says. Yes, absolutely. Old Veteran 965, he says, howdy all. here for a short time before running off to another appointment. The man is super busy. Super busy. Stick Figure, good to see you. Nav Nak is here, good to see you as well. Kozaki Flyer, happy Friday. Baldrick, you're welcome in. Jan Drace is in the chat. Alison Johnson, bonsoir. It's great to see you, Ali. How are you? Flyage tomorrow. Now let me see. Hangar Studios 713. This music plays when he walks into a room. Tips the hat. You know what I'm saying? Did you see the state of the weather in Keflavík though? What are we actually doing? Do you know? Patrick, how are you, Patrick? Good to see you. Colt Nebo, welcome in. Energizers here. The Limbics, Rambles aboard. Lima Kilo Mike, good evening. Welcome in, lads. It's kind of busy. Look, in real life, we'll be taking a bunch of cadets on a C-40 to Pensacola and then back to the Naval Air Museum. Jesus, that sounds nice, Scott. Neo is in the house, welcome aboard. Malton. Sweet suffering Jake. Lads, we've lots to do, and now they just started a hip train. It's a hip train, you know. You have to wear long hair and roses and daisies. A hip, right? Hippie train. Hype train. Hypage train. Yes. Malton Aviation, hello from Spain. Hola. B. Carlo is here. Welcome aboard. Goblin Zeus, good evening. Hope all is well. Soaring AJ. AJH, man. Welcome in, welcome in. Gibbo Ireland is in the chat. Asher, how are you, Gibbo? He was up there as well, look. Great to see you, man. Great to see you. P.S. Mirandai. Hello there. Welcome in. Hope you're well, man. SK Sun is here. Cy Murray, good to see you. Captain Meowingtons. Happy Friday. Proby Pete rambles in. Welcome aboard. Now, let me see. Marcus Simmer. Hello. Welcome aboard. I'm flying across the little pond tonight, says Hemming Bird. Oh, good woman yourself. Lad Ballooner, good evening. First time flying the 737-800. Brilliant. Brilliant. Absolute chase. There's all things happening. Great news. Then Adam Controls came in with the raid of raiders. Welcome in, lads. Thank you very much indeed, Adam. And best of luck tomorrow, dude. You don't need it. You've got this, right? Some say he's controlling the entire world. You know, Kozaki Flyer says, I want SimFX. Well, we'll show it off tonight. Do you know what I mean? One Fly Air, Keith O'Farrell here from County Louth, Ireland. I changed my name to One Fly Air. How are you, Murph and Mrs. Two-Tone? Hope all is well. Great to see you, man. I need to try and refrain from cans this evening because I don't want to be hanging tomorrow. But Adam, don't you control better whilst being in the state of hungover? I'm just kind of stating science here, you know what I mean? Folda, welcome in. 5 months subscribed. Thank you very, very much indeed, man. Great to see you. Goblin Zeus said, I made a first flight in the Tornado. First impressions, epic. From Mexico to Corpus Christi. Very nice aircraft, but I had to read the manual. It's not as easy as you think, but it is beautiful. Very, very nice. But yes, now, do we have a route for this one? We're going to make it here now. Caesar, welcome in. Who's loving the new update for the PC-12? Captain Gaiman, I haven't even tried it. Now, where are we at? I need to press a button over here and then type. Can you type and not look at what you're typing and then you realise after you typed it, it's all wrong? Can you do that? I do that all the time. Do you know? Right, where are we? I'm over here, look. No Crocs. What? What are you talking about? Southeast Asia Larger Life, correct? That is the one. What is all saying no Crocs for? I saw someone in the airport wearing Crocs. Called Nebo. Did you get their autograph? Or did you go over and congratulate them on their continued success? Very important, lads. Very, very important. Lightworks Laser Engraving watching us over on YouTube. Who else is there? There's a few is there. Welcome in to all our viewers on YouTube, lads. Happy Friday. Tarmo 10K is here. Renoir has rambled it. Oh, Jesus, that sounded great, didn't it? Renoir. Yes, it did. That was very good. Even Renoir is saying, you know, Jesus, that was very good. Right? Brilliant. Pronunciations are working tonight. Pilot Peely is here for 36 months. Pilot Peely, thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. I was lurking on your streamage last night for a bit. Great to see you, man. Cold Nebo, thank you very much indeed for the bits. And let me see, what else is happening? There's loads of buttons. Not a sim brief plan. Correct, Dougal. But I'm going to show you something mad now in a second. Captain Sickbag cheered 1,000 bits. Jesus. It's like confetti to the man. Thank you very, very much indeed. 1,000 bits, lads. Mother of God. Now, let me see. Old Man Wilco. Great name. He says, hello from Bryce Norton. That's only across the pond. Good evening, and you're very welcome in. Great to see you.
Hello there.
Hello there. Who's your man with the hair, right? Where is that, actually? Scorpio 49 rambles in with a brandy, newspaper, and a pair of slippers. and a fresh scone coming out of the microwave with some butter. Welcome in, Scorpio. You're looking well. Brilliant. Aries is here. It's good to see you. He says, busy weekend for me. Most of my computer parts arrived to build another computer. I'm still deciding on monitors. Ooh, nice. Brilliant. Jamaumu is here. Good to see you. Now, let me see. Martel, 32 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. It's great to see you, man. Right, Ewald, just remember to can't fly along.
Big E's.
You're with Sim Update Beta or Sim Update 15. You can fly along with us. We just mightn't be able to see you. But fly along for the crack. Do you know what I mean? Dan1878 is here. Daz Higgy is here. You're welcome in. A computer to build a computer. That's how you get Skynet. Right? Remember Terminator 2 and your man, and they go into Skynet and he finds the hand. Well, you know. Positonic alloy. What was it? It was exoskeleton, the T1000. Wait, he wasn't a T1000. He was a T. What was Arnie's make? He was Jesus. Imagine if that was in flight sim. I'm flying with the G1000. Right? Do you know? He wasn't a T100, was he? He was a T1000. Surely they had the extra digits. I don't know anymore. Who's in charge? But anyway, right. Press a button here, Murph. A T850. Was it? A T850. I don't know what he was. We'll have to ring him and ask him. Now, I'm going to transition the scene and move backwards for a dramatic effect. And we're over here, look. As I turn my microphone around. Pretty hands-on tonight, lads. Now, the Model 101. Wait, what? Ordered a PC for Junior this afternoon. I hope I'm on commission. So do I, Gibbo. Did you get mates rates? Let us know, will you? Jesus, let us know. You should have, though. God almighty, you should have. Now, hang on. I need to show you something. So, for the Boeing 737, just like what we have for the Airbus, the A320, well, we have some incredible Firefly Air liveries, right? We have some beautiful Firefly Air liveries. And for the Boeing 737, Gaharia did amazing work giving us one for the passenger and also the cargo variant. And for the A320, of course, we saw the ones from Ironbird, who gave us the Phoenix, or the fly-by-wire, right? And then we saw Cyrus T with the A320 ones. Well, tonight I'm presenting a new one, a brand new livery for Firefly Air to give us all the choice of what we like to fly. And the download is going to be available, well, it is available now on the website if you want to go now and grab it, right? So you have the choice when we fly Firefly Air. We're trying to, have a couple of different liveries because, well, not everyone might want to fly one particular one. So it's nice having a few of them. This livery follows on from Gibbo's release of the A320. It features what we call the Alpha livery for Firefly Air, and it's based on 2024. So I need to show you this as I disappear my camera and play this music. Now hold on to something, lads. You ready? Would you look at the state of it though, right? And this livery in particular, well, friends, it's for the Boeing 737-800 passenger variant, and it is celebrating this year's flight of the Bremen. Right, brilliant! So it's available right now over on the website, twotonemurphy.com. And while we're there, well, let's show you some of the liveries that we have on offer, because this is kind of cool, right? So we'll give you some of the options. So here it is, the brand new 737 livery. We also featured the amazing Sheila Scott livery for the A2A Comanche for Alison Johnson's final stream of that series. And this one is signed by the crew following along, and it's available to download as well. We also have some recent updates. We have a brand new Firefly Air executive livery for the PA-24 Comanche with thanks to Cyrus, the A320 liveries from Gibbo. Here we have Kaharia's 737 cargo and 737 passenger variant. They're both available as well. So lads, be absolutely sure to ramble over to twotonemurphy.com/downloads and you can grab all this stuff for free. These are created by our community. It's absolutely incredible. We have a great selection of different liveries. So many talented livery artists here. Like there's so much. There's like a ton of different of liveries for different aircraft. Some have our own and some are linked to flightsim.to where you can grab some of the other awesome liveries as well. This 737-700, the BBJ variant by Renoir, absolutely stunning stuff. So we have a ton of liveries available now for our fleet, so you get to choose and pick whichever one you'd like to fly, right? So do make sure you ramble on over. DC-6 is there as well, the 310. Here's Ironbird stuff, right? Kanzui there with the Spit, the F-16. N-Force has all his stuff for the Irish Air Corps. There's an absolute plethora of liveries. So ramble over, they're free downloads, pick them up there, download them, and we should be good to go. So while, if you want to run off and do that, well, we're going to talk about our flight plan for tonight, right? Because I want to do something a little bit different, because if I go via SimBrief, it's giving me a very boring route over the sea. So we can kind of mess around here a little bit by using Navigraph, right? So let's have a look. Now, we can have a look at the runways first. So when you want to create a flight inside Navigraph, this is actually super handy, super handy, because the flights on SimBrief, well, you don't have to fly those ones. You can pretty much fly anything you want. Do you know, Malton says, are the liveries recognised with model matching and VATSIM? Not yet. We will be making a whatchamacallit, a livery thingamabob that you can upload to your model matching and it'll do the job. Right? It'll do the job. So, do you hear the weather? We're going flying in this. Whose idea was that? Anyway, it's not important. What is important, we need to do one of these, right? So we're going to have a look at the route. So we're departing out of Keflavík. We're heading over to Narsarsuaq, that place. So let's have a look at the runways. When we select the runway, it's going to give us some information. We can see the dimensions of the runway and what direction the wind is blowing. So it's going to be runway, it's either going to be runway 19er or runway 10. The winds favour 19er. There's less of a crosswind. We're going to add that to our route. Super. So there we have our runway out. What about our runway in? Now, flight time tonight is about 2.5 hours, but let's check it out. So it's either going to be 06 or 24. Looking at the green colours, it favours 24. So we're going to add 24. Brilliant. Well, we're not just going to fly in a straight line. We need to find some departures. So if we click on the origin departures, we can see we get this overview of the different departures out of the airport. All right. Now the runway that we're going for is 19er, so it's pretty much taking off to the south. So we want to be kind of heading out the road a bit. So it's probably going to be Ralov. I would think Ralov. However, I want to get us flying up to Greenland and then down across the country. I want to go over landmass as opposed to just the ocean. So let's see if we can do something here. Now, don't follow me together. Let's just see what we can do. So if we go Sorik or Sorer across, I want to see, can I add in a waypoint or something over here? And we do have waypoints, right? So we have Yankee 47, but we also have Kulusk, or Jesus, Kulusuk. Kulusuk. We have Kulusuk over here, right? Rambox says, isn't 06 landing and 24 departure only? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll tweak it now in a moment, right? So look, we have a waypoint here, Sabag. So I want to go to this waypoint. So look, we're going to go in here. Cancel that. We're going to go in here and type it in. We're going to type in Sabag. Look. So we're going to take off and we're going to go Sabag. Hit enter. And now look what it's doing. Look, it's bringing us across where it is we want to go. Now we'll worry about the departure in a moment. Let's find another waypoint across the country. So Sabag is here. Then we have Lodno. L-O-D-N-O. So let's put in Lodno. L-O-D-N-O. Hit enter. And see the way we're creating our own flight based on our own waypoints. This is super handy, super handy. Now this is going to give us a nice bit of a cross. We have some nice landmass. And this kind of suits me because, well, Greenland isn't terribly green. But if we do it this way, well, we should see some nice differences between, you know, all the mountainous area on the right. And we'll see kind of the cliff faces going out to the sea on the left. Perfect. So to address what Rambog is saying, runway 19er, runway 19er. Oh wait, what were you saying, Rambog? Isn't 06 landing and 24 departure? That's in BGBW, is it? Interesting. Well, we are departing runway 19er. So here's 19er. When we take off, it could be a very sharp right-hand turn, and I kind of like that. So we're going to select the Narsarsuaq. That's the one we want. Add to the departure. Now look at our routing now, look. When we take off, Sorir, up to Sabig, Lodno, and then down we go. Right? So let's double check. Rambog is saying, look, the runways here isn't great. So let's have a look. We can check the approaches or we can read the NOTAMs. The NOTAMs are going to tell us what the crack is. So if we change the runway to 06, that's going to give us a tailwind landing. Ooh, at 8 knots. That could be tricky to say the least. A tailwind? Why not? We like danger. So we're going to go for 06. If we go 06, well, there's no arrivals, but there are approaches. So where are we going to be coming in from? You can see our routing up here. And we have NDBs, RNAVs. This is going to be tricky because the weather is nuts. We could shoot an RNAV. I don't see an issue with that. What if we go back to... What if we go back to 2-4, just for the sheer crack of it, right? Let's see what the approaches look like now. It's kind of straight in, and that's what I kind of like about it. So we're going to go for that for the crack. We're going to come in over the mountains. We like a challenge, right? We like a challenge. So let me see. Look, there's no approaches. There's no approaches. That's nuts. Rambog knows how to pick them. So what are we going to do? We're just going to fly straight to it. We do have a VOR we can tune into, right? Yeah, we're going to need instrumentation here. So look, there are no published approaches for runway 24. RNAV B is runway 24. Let's have a look. Where are we coming in from? Osmad. Let's go Osmad. See, Osmad is just up there. Let's add that. And here we go. Yes. Okay. So we're going to go to Osmad, ramble in this way. And then BW, that's our final approach fix. Our final approach fix. From there, we're going to fly straight in. There's a VOR there we can track. And then we have a missed approach. We can see it. We're going to carry on out. And we're going to hold out at LGAG if we need to. We can add in the hold. And then we'll try and go back to Osmad and try it again. So we can kind of see what the crack is, right? You've RNAV A as well. What's RNAV A? You've Osmad. It's the same. Let's go with Osmad. I kind of like the cut of that jib. Right, there's a bit of a sharp turn here, but I'm not too worried. So we'll have a look at it. All right. So can we add this chart? Let me see. Let's have a look now. So we're looking at the we're looking at the airport. We're looking at here charts we want for the approach. We're going with type B, is it? No, the RNAV A. I beg your pardon. So this is what we're coming in for here. Look, and then here's the hold at LGAG. So, missed approach, climb direct BW004, then on course 263, passing altitude 4,900 feet, turn right to LGAG, climbing to 5,500 feet, and hold. Do not turn before MAP. This is a fairly Janey then, isn't it? Right, let's pin that, we want you. Right, that's our route, lads. Now, you might say, what do you do with that, Murph? Well, watch this. That's the route we want, okay? And let's see what we can do in terms of copying this and dropping this now into SimBrief. So here's SimBrief. And it's calculated a route, as I said, it's terribly boring. Look at that. We don't want that, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to group out that. And we're going to paste in our route here. So we're going to put in Narsarsuaq 2, direct Lodno, direct this one. So Osmad with a, let's have a look. Analyze this. There we go. So there's the route we've just created and we've just popped it into SimBrief. Right? Can I pop? Don't worry, Nighthawk. I'll share the. Can I just share it here? To share the flight with other users, send them the following link. I'm going to copy this. I'll put it on Discord, so you can actually copy this, and it'll put it straight into your own FMS. Right? Let's have a look here now. So that's gone into the flight plans page. SimBrief. It's true SimBrief for you. All right. And I'm also going to copy the route, and I'll put it into the chat here as well, just so we have full coverage. Right? And as I said, this time, if you want, do be sure to grab those fancy new liveries if you'd like, right? If you'd like. So let's have a quick look here. Altitude heading across the way. We don't need to go too terribly high, but let's just get an LGAG here now. So altitude restrictions, what do we need to worry about here? 7,000, is it? Yeah, it's about 8,000. So we're heading to the west, so we will be flying even numbers. Yeah, I'm thinking about 28,000 feet, or even flight level 360 might do us here. So I'm not going to tell SimBrief what I want. I'm just going to say, look, generate the flight, and let's see what happens. Right? We're going to get an automatic cruise profile. We're going to get automatic altitude and step climbs. Let's see what the devil can do. So it is going to give us 36,000 feet. That's flight level 360. All right. Cruise profile is going to be 73 for our cost index. That's fairly okay. And now we have all the details, right? So I'm going to copy this route here. Just bear with me now, lads. So I'm going to copy this, and if I put it into the whatchamacallit, I need to turn stuff on. So I'm going to go route. So if you now type in !route, yeah, it'll give you the answer, right? It'll give you the answer. So I am flying the Boeing, Boeing, B-O-E-I-N-G, 737-800 by PMDG. We'll go ahead and confirm that. And an airliner, if you want to fly along, or the Tornado, or, you know, fast jets, right? Cruising, we're going to be, ground speed will probably be about 450, give or take, right? Now, there's something else we need to check out here. We need to check out the weather. As we learned, 1928, how do they figure out how to do, the weather, right? How could they read the weather? Well, they didn't have any of this fancy stuff. A lot of it was done by some observation stations, also skippers out in their boats or their ships. It is raining, right? So, let's have a look. We could get wind barbs. So we can see weather radar. It's lashing rain here at the moment, and the weather is quite rough. If we look at the wind barbs, depending on our altitude, well, it gets fairly lively, right? There's full wind along the way, right? Now, other thing we can look at is the cloud cover. So we will hopefully be leaving the cloud, or there could be a genuine gap in the weather radar service. It's not giving us the conditions in these locations. All right, so we'll park that to one side. We're going to park this divil to one side. That's our flight plan. That's how it's going to look. And let me see here now. Let's enlarge that one. And the last little website I want to check out, I use this one for everything. I use it for work. I use it for when I fly VentuSky. I find it to be extremely accurate, particularly in Ireland. However, others work just as well, windy, all this sort of stuff, right? So if we have a look at the wind speed, and we're going to go relatively high because we're flying quite high, we're going to be hitting a 50-ish knot headwind, crosswind, and then a headwind once again. And this is very, very close to what the lads would have been facing. Now, they were nowhere near this altitude, right? Realistically, they were probably around 500 meters. So when we initially take off, well, we're going to have a headwind, then we'll have a tailwind as we climb, because there is a bit of a weather system just off of Greenland. And look at the winds here. Look, 70 knots. But we're going to go miles above that. Miles above that. These are known as winds aloft. Winds aloft. They're above. So you might have wind conditions and directions at lower altitudes, but when you go higher, well, they could change direction and get a lot stronger. So we need to be aware of that. Either way, no matter what we're doing, we're flying against the wind. We're not going to have a tailwind on this flight tonight. Wind gusts are important. We need to be careful here. So at the airport, they're gusting currently to about 30 knots. At our arrival, it's relatively calm, right? And we can have a look at the air pressure across the way. So 1015 or 1015 hectopascals, and then we're moving into lower pressure when we get to Greenland. You can see this weather front moving in, this cold air meeting hot air, right? Low temperature or low pressure, high pressure, and that's why you're getting this weather system over here, right? So it's going to be interesting. That's what the weather is going to be doing for our flight. So, Bjani then, let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. Now, we can't see much here because, well, I'm on the ground, right? And, that was a nice view. We're on the ground, and as you can see, well, the weather is shocking. It's lashing rain, it's wind, it's all the sort of jazz as well, right? Another thing I'm showcasing tonight is called SimFX. Now, as I said, I showed this off before. Just want to give you an idea. It has been updated, so it gives me the likes of contrails. Because I'm not on Sim Update 5, we know that the heat blur stuff isn't working right. Engine pollution. They're all visual effects that we have. Right, grand, cool. The environment, however, we can see that we have contrails from other aircraft. I'm interested to see how that behaves. We also have the aurora. So if we were to look at the aurora borealis, the location of the aurora borealis, well, we can find it by just using that QR code there. If you want to put your smartphone up to the TV, take a picture, it's going to bring you to Parallel 42's website, and they're tracking the actual location of where the aurora is visible, right? So I believe it will be visible during our flight. We're up this neck of the woods. And I'll leave that there for a second. And then the last one we're going to look at then, well, they're shooting stars. Shooting stars, right? Who would have thought? They've added in shooting stars, which is pretty cool, right? Oh, God almighty, Cyrus just sent me a picture. He's working on something beautiful for the A300. I can't believe how many awesome liveries that you guys are able to put out there. And like, I've fallen in love with the design Gibbo made. I don't know what, it's something about it. And like, when he showed me it on the Boeing, I was like, Jesus, it's the same livery, but it completely transforms depending on the aircraft you're flying. It's mad. It's mad, right? And then we have shooting stars. So that's the stuff we're going to hopefully show you during tonight's flight. Now, I do have multiplayer turned off for the moment. I want to get my aircraft up and running, and let's see what happens, right? So currently we're on ground power. Quick checking the overhead. Most of my stuff is turned off here, so we're going to power up some units. So we're going to go to our electronic flight bag, and I can now pull this information from SimBrief. And if we have a quick look on the map here, well, that's the route we've just created ourselves, lads. Look. We created this route ourselves. How cool is that? So never be worried or afraid. If SimBrief is not giving you a route you want, well, you can plan your own route. SimBrief is great. It'll show you what other people used. It might show you the most efficient. It might show you some of the real world stuff, but you can play around with it if you wish, which is awesome, right? And then you can just type it into SimBrief and then boom, it'll barrel over to here, right? Now we can also see the weather. So let's put in BIKF, Keflavík. Let's have a gawk here. So, simple meter. So, let me see. Winds 140 at 24 knots. It's lively. Visibility 1700. Drizzle and rain. Broken clouds of 4. Overcast of 15. Temperature 6. And our QNH is 1011. Alright? So, there's a bit of weather going on here, right? Bit of weather. So, we can see that our flight is pretty much dialed in. So, we're going to go over to our gadgets over here. My flight sim options. We're on the external pit. We're on ground power. I can probably get the stairs out of there, and I'm going to go through my flows as I ramble in there now as well, right? Rekathu, you're very welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for the follow. How long is the flight? About 2.5 hours. Come join us. Exclamation point route, and you can join us for the flight, lads. So getting the 737 into action, first and foremost, we're going to start at the very top. Electrical power has been established. My batteries are on. My emergency lighting system is armed, and I've connected to the ground power unit. So we're on free electricity for the moment, but we need to continue on. So I'm going to turn on the IRSs. So we're going to put these to nav mode. Now there's a number of different tests we can do within the aircraft. Flaps, all is looking good. We have a number of fire and smoke control tests. So the flight recorder, we can go ahead and test. Yes, it's working. We have our airspeed. They're working. Do a stall shaker. So that sound of an MP40. Basically what that does in aircraft, when they have like a shaker, there are motors built into the side of the yoke or controls that, well, it's a motor, it shakes to alert the pilot of an incoming stall. And that's on the left-hand side, all right? Now, moving down the left-hand side, yaw dampener, not yet. Fuel pumps, we are going to turn on the aft pump, number 1. That's going to give us sufficient fuel pressure to start up our APU. And now we continue on. So we can see, right, our electrical power, we have 24 volts, all is looking good. And our standby power is reading 28 volts, so we're good. Cabin utilities are set to on. And what else we have? Ground power, that's where we're reading. Generators are reading 0, we haven't started them. And the APU is currently off. Standby power, leave it alone. Ground power is active. Our generators, we have engine generators or just generators. And then you have your APU. All of these remain off for the moment. APU unit located just down here, so we will be turning this gadget on. So we're going to turn on the master switch for the APU. 3 positions, we have on or start. We're going to put it to the on position, and we wait until we see a low oil pressure light. Low oil pressure light has now turned on. And then for the APU, in the real one, you kind of press, hold, and then she'll fire up. It's usually about 2 or 3 seconds. This switch just switches on, switches off. And now we monitor that EGT. That's going to start increasing as it gets hotter because the turbine inside the APU is starting to move. So again, we have a low oil pressure light. but that's because the APU is powering up. All right. Thank you for subscribing, Alexander. Now, if we jump outside and have a listen, you will hear the APU start. So that's the APU up and running. Now, as I said, look, there's a number of different fire tests we can do, so we can test these now, right? So we have our tests here. So fire for the engines. Press and hold, lights illuminate. Go to the right-hand side. There's the bell. Fire are working on engine 1. We can check the APU fire test. This probably won't work now because, you know, I've just started the APU. It's the same crack. Go system 2. Grand job. Right, we continue on with our flows here, right? So let me see. APU power is now available. And to get this working, a couple of things. We can now transfer to the APU generators. Flick them down. There's 1. There's 2. And now we're going to turn on the APU bleed to get the bleed air system up and running. APU bleed is coming on, and we can see the duct pressure, pounds per square inch. That's just how much airflow is there. And we can do things like turn on the passenger air conditioning system. You know the little vents over your head? Well, that's the gadget. If you're ever in a plane and you're roasting, turn on the APU, you thing, right? Yasmin says, hello. So smooth graphics. How does your NVIDIA settings look like? FPS limited, VSync on. If you go into our Discord, Jasmine, you'll see all the settings. The equipment I have, it's a 4090 and there's all sorts of, you know, it still breaks, mind you, as in the sim. But yeah, it's fairly good. I'm using DirectX 12 also with frame generation. So it seems to be working well. Right, now, moving on. The hydraulic pumps, we'll worry about the... Well, we can turn them on now. Get our hydraulics switched on. As we're moving down through our flows here. Fasten seatbelt lights, they're now on. Engine controls, we'll leave them off for the moment. We have our logo and our logo and our wing lights turned on. Moving up the top now, window heat and probes, leave them alone for the minute. Our bleed system is working. We need to put in our cruising altitude because this is our pressurization panel, yeah? And then our landing altitude, we'll double check that with the chart now in a moment. Super. Next up, let's program the FMSs. So we're going to go into inner F. No, we're not. We're going to cancel that. We're going to go to menu. We're going to go to FMC. Okay, so position init or initialization. So we're going to put in our reference airports and then we're going to have our routes and we're going to have all this. So we are at Bravo India Kilo Fox, BIKF. Go ahead and pop you in. And it's asking us to set the IRS position. We just go to the next page and we'll pick it up from a GPS. If you click on the left or right GPS, it'll put those coordinates into the bottom. This part here, this is called a scratch pad. We go back to the previous page, and because the scratch pad, it's almost like your copy paste button, we just drop it into the IRS position. Once we do that, IRS will start aligning. Depending on your settings, you can have it instant or real. In the real world, it could take anywhere between 7 and 11 minutes for your IRSs to align, right? Your, what do they call it? Inertial something sensors. Basically, the gadget that tells your avionics where you are. It's like a GPS, right? Right, so we're going to say, right, position initialization. Well, let's go to the route page. And in here, we can actually request our flight plan because we've just imported one to SimBrief. Now, if we didn't, we can type in all this stuff manually, but we have it in there. I'm going to request it. It's reading my SimBrief profile. It's telling us we're going from Keflavík over to Greenland. I want that one. And it should just load in. So flight ID, I am Firefly 235, initial altitude 360, cost index. So I can set the payload based on the flight. SimBrief payload has been set. I can set the bulk fuel for the flight, 21.8. There's currently 19.6 in the aircraft. I'm going to press... that should have went in, shouldn't it? Set fuel, 21.9, and our fuel is set as well. Perfect. Okay, so let's go into the route is done, flight plan request. So let's go to the legs page. No, let's go into the route page. So flight plan request. Come on, you devil, we want you now in a second. It'll load in, and then all should be well in the realm. So it says your route uplink is ready. I want to load it. route uplink loading. And this is following what the real aircraft does. I mean, they have, depending on the aircraft company or the airline company, they'll beam the information to and from all these FMCs. Do you know? You Sold, good to see you, man. You're very welcome aboard. Inertial reference system. Thank you, Navnak. That's the job. That's the job. Frame gen is life. It is pretty good, isn't it? It is pretty good. We are Boeinging today, Press Miranda. Yes, yes. Trey Juicy says, Murph, how do you know all this stuff? I read it in a book once, and I could be completely telling you the highest tales ever. I'm a Boeing person at heart. Careful how you say that. I love Boeing. All the flight sims I've used, I started with Boeing. But I've now fallen in love with the Airbus as well. I don't need to put in the runway or company route. Everything's ready to go. I'm just going to execute this, and now we're in. I'll take over from here because we can look. These are all the direct twos. That's grand. We won't worry about this for the moment. Next up, I'm going to go to... we have performance initialization. And a lot of this we can type it in manually, or PMDG will hold our hand. And if we click any of the buttons to the left that are blank, it'll give us the information into your scratch pad, and then we can jump it back in. So for our zero fuel weight, we are 124.6. Our planned fuel, we have 21.9 in the box. 21.9. In you go, you Jesse. The reserve fuel. How much additional fuel do we need? And again, we would get that from our sim brief plan. I'm going to put in 2.0 because that's roughly what we need. Our cost index, again, we have that from our sim brief plan. Cost index is 73. Our cruise altitude, it's given me 380. We're going to go with 360. So we'll type in 360. Now it's looking for the cruise wind. So the average winds along our destination. If you want to find that, two ways you can find it, right? One, it's going to give you the, where is it now? Average wind. That's what it means by that. So it's 217 at 51. Or if you look at the official flight plan or your operational flight plan, well, it's going to give it to you up here. See this average wind? There's your cruise system. That's your cost index. That's where it appears on your flight plan. And the flight plans that SimBrief can generate, it can do Lido, it can do a lot of them. They're very close to the real world stuff. So cruise is 73, as in our cost index, and our average wind 217,051. So let's see what happens. 217/051. And we're going to put that in, and it's in. Transition altitude, we're going to keep it at 7,000. And we can request this as well, rather than typing it in individually. Not going to worry about it. N1 limit, it's asking us, do we want to derate the engine? Not really, because the weather is kind of, hefty. We could derate it, but I'm going to leave it as is. Same with our climb profile. I want full power out of my machine. There's nothing to worry about here. Different airliners will have different policies on what they want. They'll tell you what profile they want. Depends on your weight and balance as well. All right. So next up we go to our takeoff. Now I could put all this information in here, but I'll have to re-verify it once I put in my SIDS and stars. So we're going to put in our departure and our arrivals first. First line is into the departure arrival page. We're at BIKF, and our departure out of here is runway 19 on the sorry 2 Sierra. No, sorry 2 Charlie. So we'll select runway 19, and we're going to go to the sorry 2 Charlie. There's no transition, and I'm going to execute that. Super. Now we'll go to our planned arrival. And our arrival is going to be 06, right? It is an RNAV. Let's go to the next page just to be sure. RNAV B or RNAV A? Can anyone remember what we picked? It was RNAV A. So it's RNAV A for runway 24, wasn't it? Runway 24. RNAV A for runway 24. This guy here. And we can see the transition. It's from OSMAD. That's where we're coming in from. OSMAD. Execute that. Now we'll go back into our performance page because we want to put in the rest of our information for our takeoff speeds. So flaps on departure, we're going to set to 5. Our center of gravity is going to be 24.8, and that'll give us 4.75 in our trim. No destination path after OSMAD. So we have a disco. I'll fix that. We're going to verify our V speeds, 137, 139, and 148. We'll go back into the legs page and let's go in and have a look. So here's a problem here. So it's giving us a break from Lodno until we get to Osmad. Well, that's okay. We'll just go direct. So to get rid of that, we can click clear or click on the waypoint below the disco and pop it into the missing one. Execute that. So let's look at. We have Sabag, Lodno, Osmad, and we're all the way down. And then it gives us our missed approach and a hold at Elgag. So that's our flight put in now in the FMS. Are we happy enough? Super. Right, we continue on. So at this stage, we're going to start putting, well, we're ready for a push and start. So I'm going to put on all my remaining fuel pumps. Do we have fuel in the center tank? There's a question. Do we have fuel in the center tank? I think we do. There's hydraulics. How do we get that devil now? How do we show the fuel in this again? Curse of J's, isn't it? Right, don't worry about it. It'll be grand. We'll figure it out when we get there. Oh, fix some lights here as well. Transponder, we'll just make up our own squawk for today. What are we saying? I suppose 6464, something like that. Does that work? So go in here, we'll go 6464. There's 6, there's 4. And we'll go 6. Wrong one, 6, 4. And we're going to go to TA at the moment while we're on the ground. Test the devil. We should get a TCAS pass button.
Hello there.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Jesus. Hello there. Welcome in. Flight directors can come on both sides. TCAS is passed. Auto brake for takeoff. We're going to set it to rejected takeoff. That's the anti-skid. So that's set. Anti-takeoff. Auto throttle, not worry. Our V speeds. Well, our minimum needs to be 140. We're going to bring this up to 200 knots. I don't want to go too much faster because we need to do our turn. And our initial climb, our stop climb, we'll bring it up to the transition level, and then we'll go up after that. That's looking good. That's looking good. Yeah, we're looking good. Okay, so we have verified that we are on APU power. We can now disconnect the ground power. That's disconnected. And we'll come over here. We're going to remove the gadget, return ground services, release the ground power. Quick check outside the aircraft. We can see that our chocks are still in place. So we need to fix that. Remove the chocks, ensuring our parking brake is set and on. Red light is illuminated, our parking brake is on. Remove. And we're going to go back. We're going to go to pushback, and we're going to say connect the tug. And we're going to, what are we doing? Straight out. So we can actually tell it what we want. So we're going for runway 19er. I'm just zooming in here on the navigraph. So 19er. So we want to get pushed, and I want my nose right. Standard L, dot the I, cross the T, or none, or we can go self-drive. Let's go self-drive. And I can control this myself, yeah? Chocks set, remove. Now, we're just going to connect the devil. Yeah, there he is. All right, okay. So we're going to push back and nose to the right, looking at me charts. All right, so it's been 168 years. It is, lads, but sure, listen, it's me. Brakes coming off. Ensure that they are off. Brakes are off. Is there movements? Yes, there is. Okay, so we're going to go for a start on the engines now. So to do this, we're going to start engine 2. Bring the packs offline for this. It is a Boeing. We're going to select ground. And let's enjoy the pushback. It looks like I'm not getting me license today on how to turn the devil. Come back, you devil. Oh, Jesus, a sport. Straighten up now, Patrick. Turn me plane and just bring it this way, please. Thank you. Right, push her back. Why is that divil turning, look? There we go. Now we're thrashing. For a second there, you know, it went terribly wrong. Yeah, still going wrong. Right, this requires a bit of... Oh, Jesus. There we go. Now you're thrashing. Okay, so we've got to start on the right. Go for the left. If there was ever a pushback competition, I've won it. Have a number for me to call. I have a number for me to call. I'm terrible at this. The PMDG pushback is a little bit on the... Oh, Jesus, then. But we're grand. Edson is here. It's good to see you. Jason, look at the tyre marks I'm leaving on. Ah, oh, God. Mark Burton, welcome in. Yes, this side is fine. You can't see the messing now, look. Right, let's pretend that was the perfect pushback in history. It was. Park and brake on. Thank you. Disconnect this mad divil. Good luck to you. And good luck to you. No descent pass. What's it saying? Next page, next page. Oh, no descent pass. That's grand. It's grand. Right. So what do we say? Flaps are going to be set to 5. There we go. And trim is going to be 4.75. Roughly there. Good stuff. Right, engines are looking good. So let's continue to tidy up. Yaw dampener on. Fuel pumps are what they need to be. Window heaters, turn them on. Probe heats, turn them on. Lights and all that jazz is what it wants to be. Anti-collision lights, wheel well and runway turn off. Taxi light, APU can now start coming off. So we'll turn off the APU bleed. Turn on the packs. APU generators offline. Put on our own main generators. Just as well you did that, and turn off the APU. Ignition system, we'll put it onto continuous now in a moment. Nearly. Put the isolation valve on. Why are we getting an error? Verify takeoff speeds. That's because I dropped in some flap. That's okay. Yeah, we're looking good, we're looking good. Okay, back to the legs page. Flaps set to 5, and our trim is in. Okay, we're good to go. Park and brake off. There we go. A bit of power, bit of range. And let's go taxiing. So it's going to be on to November 4 and then down. So we shall taxi out. We're in, lads. But it's all about the, you know, check your center tank pumps. Yes, you can see a config error here. One center tank's turned on as well. Turn on those puppies. Okay. Jeez, the weather is terrible, isn't it? It's absolutely terrible. So let me see. We'll put on traffic. We'll put on FPV. Auto throttle, leave that alone for the minute. As we taxi along. We're moving, yeah, we absolutely are. Now, we will get above this weather shortly, so I'm not too worried. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to follow this taxiway down, and then it's a left turn onto November. That's pretty. I think this is MK Studios Airport as well. It looks the job, doesn't it? Look at the state of the weather. I mean, who'd go flying in that, lads? Do you know what I mean? We're very used to this weather in Ireland, yes. That's a beautiful view. Okay, left. Forward a bit and then left, and then it's going to be blast off. All is looking fairly okay here. We'll soon find out if it doesn't like anything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we've probably got icing conditions. Yeah, we'll have to watch that. Temperature on the ground is 6 degrees, but yes, we will have to watch that. So we're now making our way towards the active runway. It is runway 19er. Beautiful Irish weather. Yeah, right. Brilliant. Put on your sun cream. Why? Just to make you feel better. And once we break through these clouds, I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the aircraft you guys are flying, right? So quick check. We're going to put our ignition system onto continuous. Anti-ice, we can probably turn them on, but I'm not going to use them until after takeoff. Transponder will go TA or A. Over you go. And the rest I think we're going to be good. Famous last words. 6 degrees, yeah, it is icing conditions, but for takeoff, that will, well, if we're using the anti-ice on takeoff, that is going to use up some power, but it's a sufficiently big runway, so anti-ice system's on. The rain is starting to die off a bit as we taxi out. I haven't flown the 7.3 in ages, right? I've been pretty much just flying the Airbus A320, and I'm really getting used to its logic. Boeing is a little bit different. You got to hold its hand a bit, but it's still very good. We're going to arm LNAV, we're going to arm VNAV, and well, let's see what we can do from here. We could probably control V-speed in a moment. So we're coming up on 19er. James Dean loved the Irish rain falling in California the other weekend. Nice. Airbus for the win, but I also enjoyed the 7.3. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? So, approaching the active. Light them up. Lights are on, strobes are on, everything's on. Engine set to continuous mode. We're looking good. That's taxiway echo. Here's the active. That's mad weather, lads. Okay, line up. Jesus, look at the wind. We have a crosswind on takeoff here. Alright. Okay, hold position. So let's make sure we're walking, talking, and we're squawking. Flaps good, lights good. Auto throttle armed. Okay, friends. Let's go flying. Power coming in. 40%. Stable. And toga. Toga the bejesus out of it. Up the yard. Yeah, baby. Right, speed alive.
80 knots.
80 knots. Betsy.
V1.
V1. Rotate. Yepsy daisy. Woohoo, there's the wind. Positive rate of climb.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Let's follow this track. Right turn coming in. Flaps 2. Let's clean up. Watch your speed, Murphy. Watch your speed, Murphy. Easy now. Get the speed up, you devil. Man, look at that wind hitting us. Wow, look at the weather. Jesus. We'll call it. We'll go 205. Let's just see how that handles. Right turn coming in. Flaps are in. Gear is up and locked. There's 4,000. Right, unrestricted. Bring her to our cruise. Let's say 36. Up you go, you devil. Once you pass 7, we'll go standard. Wow, look at that, lads. Jesus, look at the weather. Bit of multiplayer edge. We're looking good. Call it 2.5. It's nice, isn't it? Everything's live. Yeah, everything's live. Coming up on our transition altitude. Let's go standard. All right, all right, all right. Quick check outside. It's working anyway, right? Brilliant. Now, we need to do one of these. Where are you, Murph? You're over here. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're flying along with us, well, if you're on the Xbox, press 1. If you're on the PC, press 2. And if you're here because it's Friday, let's be honest, there's not much else on the telly tonight. Well, you press number 3. Hello, Fireflies. Welcome to the Flying Circus. We live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1900 Zulu time, right here. The state of that. 36 on the PC, 4 on console. Thank you, Super Ty. We settle in for the night shift. So if people are still taking off, don't worry, I'm keeping the speed right back at 200 for the moment. Let's get everyone moving together. Oh, yes. I mean, it looks impressive, lads, doesn't it? It looks only gorgeous. Look at the weather. The weather. Look at that type formation. Look at the state of it. That's amazing, look. You're a credit to yourselves, lads. Look at this state. Isn't it only brilliant? Gorgeous. Isn't that gorgeous? Jesus, and a Horton who? Horton ho? Right, brilliant. Speed is starting to pick up now a little bit, lads. Let's have a quick look at Navigraph. How are we going in our departure? We're well on our way to Sorir. And we're over 10,000 feet. We're cruising, well, we're climbing all the way up to flight level 360. Wonder where the top of cloud is. We'll find out momentarily. Right, quick check on all our aircraft systems. So, flaps are in. Engines are normal. Anti-ice system's still running in case we need it. We're battling 41 knots coming across the left of our nose. Speed is looking good. Flight level 180 on our way up. VNAV is active as well. Let's bring this gadget out a little bit. We see what we're doing. So 10, 20, 40, 60, 80. What are we? 40 miles out from Sorir, our first waypoint. Man, look at that weather. 30 is clear. Beautiful. Okay, so it looks like we're going into our last bit of cloud layer. Man, lads, look at the formation, look. Isn't that gorgeous?
Hello.
Now, are we still on live time and weather? We should be. Yeah, we are. We absolutely are. Live time and weather. We're going to be transitioning into the nighttime, lads, right? Skywards, you're very welcome in, man. Happy Friday. Exclamation point route is going to give you the route. If you'd like to join us, lads, we're live on the Southeast Asian server. And, well, the more, the merrier, really. Don't worry about your skill levels or otherwise. You got to start somewhere. Don't worry if you make a mistake. And let's hope and cross our fingers we don't get any bugs with the sim tonight. Let's see what happens. But so far so good, right? We're looking all right. If things go wrong and I do get that dreaded pause, stop bug, I'll jump out, reload, and jump back in again. No active sky tonight. Zybok Doc calling from Denmark. It's good to see you, man. You're very welcome in. Hello from Tipperary. Now, look. I dare say everything at the moment is looking good. We're looking good. So have a look at our fuel tanks here in the center, look. So the quantity of these are going to start dropping quick. That will throw an alert. Once they get to 0, we're going to turn off the fuel pumps on the center tanks. You know, the differences between Boeing and Airbus. Airbus is... well, Airbus is very kind of automated. Yeah, it's very automated. This thing, we got to do our own stuff. We got to kind of, you know, press the buttons, tell it what it is we want. And, yeah, like so far, it's well behaved. I have not flown this aircraft in some time, and I'm liking it. More like active sigh. Am I right? Am I right? Chalks, good to see you. Patrick says, I enjoy flying in the sim, even though my skill levels aren't very high. There you go. It's the taking part that counts, lads. So don't ever worry, like, I'm not good enough for... Oh, look, it's raining at 22,000 feet. Just positively icing up here, look. And it's kind of hard to see everyone. Look at the amount of people flying. It's a little bit hard to see everyone, but like... lads, it's just absolutely stunning, isn't it? It's gorgeous. Love the 7.3. It's beautiful. Bit of tunage here in the background as we continue on with our flight. So as I said, total flight time about 2.5. And next week we continue on. We go from Greenland over to a place called Goose Bay in Canada, Newfoundland neck of the woods, and that's going to be in the BAE 146, the version 2. Run shotgun, the amount of contrails, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what this is going to do. And the Aurora Borealis, shooting stars, right? I mean, the thing is going to give me sideburns. I can't wait. It's going to be brilliant. What a view. Isn't this livery stunning? Isn't that livery stunning, lads? Wait, he said Newfoundland almost correctly. Right, we're learning. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful livery with the Bremen. This very flight that we're, you know, doing right on the side of the aircraft. Lads, can we get some pints of Guinness and Moats into the chat? as a thank you to Gibbo for all his hard work. Doesn't it look great? Oh, we're going to break through the clouds. This is going to be epic. Brilliant. And there go the pints of Guinness. I love this bit of music. And the crowd goes wild. So our good pal, buddy pal, Muse fan, not active in the chat tonight. We'll catch him over the weekend. But Muse, if you do manage to watch this back, I'm thinking of you, my guy. Thinking of you. Look at this. All the freaking fighters you brought. It's like the Paris Air Show we're heading to. Tornadoes, F-22, F-35, F-14, a Raphael. Jesus, I keep getting that wrong. Right? Who's in the Blériot? Who's in the Blériot? Someone has to be in the Blériot, right? Look at this. Passing flight level 250. The moon. You want the moon? I'll give it to you. How big? Oh, I saw around it. Balls, we can't see the moon anymore. It's over there. Oh, look. Brilliant. Would you look at the state of this? Where would you get it in all the land? With all the planes flying, lads. Isn't that incredible looking? It actually looks like we know what we're doing, look. Isn't that incredible? State of it. Hang on a second. This needs some tune to cheer now, look. Hang on. Where's this thing with the yoke, with the thing? Do you want to have a button for this? Oh, that's a bit heavy. What about, yeah, that works. And, ooh. That works, and this works. Yes. That's incredible looking. It's incredible. I'm seeing contrails. The state of it. Nameplates are off, yeah. Beautiful. Passing flight level 270, speed 0.79. Murph, not bot. Wait, what? The Concorde is catching up. Nice. Jeb, welcome in. You just joined. Sweet. Is there an F5 in there? Now, don't get me wrong, lads, right? General aviation, we're a GA community, but like, Jesus, when you look at the jets, when you look at the airliners, the military stuff, we really do have some awesome options now in the sim, don't we? Some incredible things. Duga says, I for one am more than happy with the default clouds and weather. Yeah, well, this is default Microsoft. We're not using Active Sky. One thing is interesting though, with Active Sky, because the winds in Microsoft can be a little bit hit and miss. Active Sky will allow you to use their rendition of the winds, but keep the visualizations of the sim. It's just another option. You know what I mean? The Horton is amazing and crazy. The Horton is brilliant, Olympics. The Horton is loads of fun. And if you can fly that in VR, man alive. It's a freaking rocket ship. Lads, look at this. Isn't that just incredible looking? Loving the formation flying here by you guys. Absolutely incredible look. It's beautiful. So we're skimming the very top of this cloud layer from what you can see. Look at that, lads. I mean, Jesus then, where would you get it, look? Where would you get it, right? Holding off Active Sky. Yeah, Yeah, I'm interested to see what they can do, yeah. Default weather is very good. Golden times to the sim community. Navnak, couldn't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more. I couldn't use Hi-Fi in Flight Sim 2004 FSX, so you had Rex installed. Yeah, Rex did a pretty good job, Sean. Rex wasn't bad. Like, Rex was handy because you can have the different textures and it depicted different clouds. But doesn't Active Sky have something called cloud art? Didn't they do something similar? And look at the friggin' sharklets, look. Jesus. Jesus, look how good that looks. Look at the reflections and everything, look. That's pretty. That's very, very pretty. Mr. Dan says, I'm sorry, what in the awesome livingness is this weather? Don't think I've ever seen it like this before. Isn't it incredible? Isn't it just incredible? And this is Microsoft's weather, like. Now, at what stage does it start getting dark? Or are we kind of flying now with the old, Ooh. Ooh. So in about an hour and a half, we're going to start seeing some beauty in the sky. You may have already seen something just now. Say nothing. There's the moon, look. This is gorgeous. Look at that. Straight into the friggin' sun. Flight level 30299, giving us a 0.79. We can probably go up to 0.82 on this, I'd say. Right? Mark Burton, dude, whenever you can, you join in. Not all multiplayer is contrailing, but some are. Yeah. Well, I imagine when there's more, I imagine maybe some devs might need to update their aircraft. The jets may not be showing it, but certainly I'd say the airliners are. I mean, we can see contrails way off in the distance. So, let's look at the cloud layer, look. Isn't that gorgeous? Bleeding state of it. Like flying across the pond tomorrow. Oh yeah, who's flying across the pond tomorrow, lads? The Northern Lights, yeah. Sterling says the approach is nuts. 3.7% glide path through a mountain valley. Be grand, be grand. Sorry, Murray, did you get a slot? Like, I have a cut of fillet of cloud and put a Concorde in it. That's what you like, Mr. Dan. That's what it's all about. Man, that's beautiful. Sorry, Murray, you got a slot from Dublin. Fair play to you, man. Brilliant. Dougal, you didn't get a slot, really? Sure, we can go flying with Ali. Rambog is going to be watching Adam. Yeah, he'll have a bit of crack. Rambog, are we taking up 172s or what? Come on, we might as well, right? Oh, speaking of which, I have in my possession Just Flight's Tomahawk. Ooh, the Tomahawk. So I'll be showing that one off soon, lads. Just Flight's newest general aviation aircraft. I'm so excited to show that thing. I haven't touched it yet, though. I need to jump in and practice to see what it's all about. But we're going to be showing that one off, definitely on the news. I'll probably stream it over the weekend. We'll see. I'm planning to do some streamage on Sunday. That's me hope. Man, this is just absolutely gorgeous. This is gorgeous. You're better protected than the US president. Yep. The Tomahawk was the main aircraft of choice for flight school in your town. Oh, nice. One horse goose, good to see you. Yeah, don't worry, like, by the time we get in and we fly this approach, lads, I wouldn't be overly worried, right? I wouldn't be, like, mad worried. So what we have, a bit of information about the flyage, right? About the flyage. So tonight we want to learn a bit about the crew of the Bremen. As I said, the Bremen, it flew in 1928, and it was the first time a fixed-wing airplane flew from the east. It flew from the west, flew from the east to the west, flew from Europe over to North America, right? But I want to learn a little bit about the crew. So we know that there was 3 lads in the crew, right? And we're going to start off here learning a little bit about Major James Fitzmaurice. So I'll put my little notes over here, right? So James Fitzmaurice, he represented the Irish contingent aboard the Bremen flight. Well, he was born on the 6th of January in 1898 in Dublin. On the 23rd of May 1902, at the age of 4, Fitzmaurice moved with his parents to a house on the Dublin Road, Portlaoise in County Laois. He was sent to Waterford for business training, and he was sent home on one occasion for disruptive behaviour. He very much disliked school. In 1914, he joined up with the National Volunteers, and then later that year, he enlisted in the cadet company of the 7th Battalion of the Leinsters. His parents told the commanding officer that he was to be removed. They didn't want him seeing any sort of military combat. But he said, feck it, I'll do it anyway. 3 months later, he ran away and quietly enlisted as a trooper in the 17th Lancers of the British Cavalry. Again, his parents told the commanding officer he was too young, but the request was not received, and he was sent on active duty until he was the age of 19. During that time, he became a Lance Corporal, earning 1 shilling and 5 pence per day. He was on the list to go overseas under 18, but never corrected anyone. He lied about his age. There was no use for cavalry, so he was then later transferred to the infantry regiment of the 7th Battalion of the Queen's Royal West Surrey Regiment. He didn't like staying in the trenches, and he often volunteered for patrols into no man's land. So he saw active duty in the First World War. In July 1916, he fought in the Battle of the Somme. In 1917, acting rank of sergeant, he commanded a platoon number 19 of D Company. On a patrol in the village of Arles, to discover if it was occupied, he was shot trying to escape and suffered wounds to his right leg. He also had trench fever. He returned to England to train for a commissioned rank for 4 months, and he was later promoted to second lieutenant in the 8th Irish King's Regiment. He volunteered for service in the Royal Flying Corps, eventually becoming the Royal Air Force. He was posted to the School of Military Aeronautics at Reading and posted for a course in practical flying training at Eastbourne Aerodrome. The first airplane ride was in a Gnome Avro training aircraft. After 5 hours of dual flying, he carried out his first solo flight. Imagine, if we want to go flying now, well, it's highly unlikely you're going to solo after like 5 hours. It's so unlikely, right? The chances are you would have to probably do maybe 10, 15 hours, and like that'd be going good. Unless you're Captain Gaiman, do you know what I mean? Because like that devil just hopped into the plane and they said, you know what you're doing, you know? He gained about 20 hours of solo flying at the end, of which time he was tested and handling of his elementary flying training, and he flew a SOP with Hup, and then later the SOP with Camel. He completed his training as a fighter pilot and was posted to sail to France on the 11th of November 1918, the day that the armistice with Germany became effective. Fitzmaurice married Violet Clark on his 21st birthday. Clark was a non-commissioned officer of the Women's RAF. The wedding was held in secret. He continued to serve in the Royal Air Force, flying the males with 110 Squadron. And in May 1919, he was selected to undertake the very first night mail flight, which went from Folkestone to Boulogne. In February 1922, Fitzmaurice returned to Ireland and he joined the Irish National Army's Air Service following the formation of the Irish Free State. In early 1923, he was promoted to captain, and on the 25th of October 1925, he was promoted to acting commandant, appointed second in command of the Irish Air Corps with its headquarters in Baldonnel, where he was later promoted commandant on the 1st of September 1927. He started raising funds for the east to west flight, and he raised over £11,000 to finance a flight to America. Fitzmaurice made his own first attempt to fly the Atlantic in 1927, when in the Princess Xena, that was a Fokker Villa aircraft, piloted by Captain Robert Henry McIntosh, having received the meteorological forecast indicating that even though the first 200 miles off the Irish coast were poor, but the rest of the route was clear. However, the weather off the coast of Galway was turbulent and it got worse until visibility was virtually nil. They landed in Ballybunion in County Kerry. Now, if that's not like a story about just one member of the crew, you're talking a different breed here, lads, right? Like, being Irish back then, to go over and fight for the British Army, that was just not the thing to do, right? And I could have imagined all the challenges that he may have got, right? But he did it anyway. But not only did he fight with the British during the First World War, including the Battle of the Somme, he was wounded and he became promoted, and then he went into the Royal Flying Corps, or the RAF. And he excelled in flying aircraft. So much so, where the skills that he had in terms of navigation, they actually put him on nighttime flying, which at the time was brand new. That was brand new shampoo. They never did that before. You want to fly at night, right? And it was said when Fitzmaurice was back in Dublin, he kind of got this accent, right? Hello, kind of, right? If you listen to some, like, in Ireland we have many accents, everywhere from, you know, the south side talking to the guys, to the north siders who thought, right, and then you go out to, like, you know, you're out that part of the country now and you couldn't understand what they're saying, right? And then somewhere in between it, well, you had James Fitzmaurice, yes, flying terribly well, here at the Irish Air Corps. They had a strange accent. The oars were kind of there, but not really. Do you know what I mean? So they used to give him a bit of stick over that. But it was playful. The fact of the matter was, he fought in a war, he was a highly skilled pilot, and he became 2IC of the brand newly formed Irish Air Corps, which started life with, what was the aircraft? It was called the Big Fella. And the whole idea of that aircraft was to get Collins out of London if things went wrong during the treaty. But anyway, I digress. So that is Colonel James Fitzmaurice, the story of one member of the crew, and he representing the Irish contingent of the aircraft, right? What about Baron Gunther von Hunfeld? Well, von Hunfeld represented the money. He was the finance backing to the entire project. Let's learn a little bit about him. He was born on the 1st of May in 1892 in Kongsberg in East Prussia. His father had served on the board of directors of the German government committee for the Olympic Games. Hunfeld and his brother had a key interest in sports. He was blind with his left eye, and he was nearsighted with his right eye. His childhood was characterised by several serious diseases. After attending school in Berlin, he studied at the Berlin University, and he came in contact with the first flight pioneers at Berlin's Johannstahl airfield. At the beginning of the First World War, he tried to enlist with the German Air Service as a volunteer, but that was rejected due to his poor health. After that, he volunteered again as a motorcyclist and was wounded in September in 1914 in Flanders, which led to a shortened left leg. So he also saw military service, right? Hello there! Jersey, welcome in! Due to his injuries, he could not return to service, and he joined the German diplomatic service, serving in Sofia in Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul. He was an imperial vice-consul of the Netherlands. After the end of World War I, he stayed in the Netherlands for over a year with the German Crown Prince Wilhelm, before returning to Germany, where he worked as a spokesman for the Neudeutscher Lloyd shipping company in Bremen. After Charles Lindbergh crossed the Atlantic from the west to the east in May 1927, the idea in flying the opposite direction, which was way more difficult due to the prevailing winds, became more and more popular. In 1927, Hunfeld bought 2 Junkers W33 aircraft from the Junkers Aircraft Company in Dessau. Welcome in, all the follows, lads. Thank you very much. Great to see everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. Story time at Murph. His plans were supported by Hugo Junkers and Herman Cole. After some test flights and breaking the record for flight duration, Hunfeld and Cole flew to Baldonnel, Ireland. Now, we have to learn about Herman Cole. So there's the first 2, right? Captain Herman Cole. He was born on the 15th of April in 1888 in Bavaria. He was one of 8 children. He struggled in school, always wanting to be outside, and he studied in the München Cadet School. He served in the pioneers of Ulm and also in as an ensign. At the age of 19, he joined the German Imperial Army to become an officer like his father. At the beginning of the First World War, he was a lieutenant. He fought in the Visage. He was shot in his left shin bone, and it disqualified him for further service in the Engineers. So, he volunteered to join the German Army Air Service. He drafted his own report, specifying his own qualifications, and sent it to headquarters without his commanding officer's knowledge. He was accepted and reported to the Aldershot Flying Reserve Detachment at the Johannesthal Aerodrome. He became an aeroplane observer, flying in Detachment 41. He took his first long flight distance to Leipzig in an Albatross training machine. His first solo flight, upon landing, the undercarriage and propeller were damaged. The next day, however, he passed his pilot's examination, flying 3 figure-8s at an altitude of 500 metres. Go on, you can do it! You're grand! You've passed! Right? How nuts is that? He was injured in a flight with 2 enemy aircraft in 1916 in the upper thigh. That's a second injury. He spent a quarter of a year in hospital. In March 1918, he was promoted to captain and obtained the command of a bombing squadron. He was captured and spent 16 months as a prisoner of war in a French camp. After several escape attempts in September 1919, he made it out, and he used the moon and the stars to guide him to safety. He also used a newspaper advert as a travel pass to get through security checks, and he even almost drowned swimming across the Rhone River. He returned to aviation, and he was given several different planes to test out after the war. His favourite, the Fokker D7. He flew the very first nighttime route in Germany in 1924. He also worked for the German police. He transferred to civilian aviation and became head of the Deutsche Lufthansa night flying branch in 1926. The idea to attempt the first east-to-west crossing of the Atlantic appealed to him. In 1927, Baron von Hunfeld bought 2 Junkers W33, and Lufthansa recommended that Hermann Kohl should be the advising pilot. They named both aircraft the Europa and the Bremen. They quickly discovered that Ireland would be a good starting point due to the weather, and after spending some time in Ireland in early 1928 inspecting several airfields, they settled on Baldonnel. After some test flights and breaking the record for flight duration, Hunfeld and Cole flew to Baldonnel, Ireland, where they met James Fitzmaurice. Now, you might be wondering, Murph, how did Fitzmaurice kind of swing this one? How did he manage to get in there, right? Well, he managed to get in there because, what, you want to fly from Ireland? No problem at all. You want to stay here? No problem. Do you want food? No hassle. The only catch is, lads, I'm going with you. But who is this crazy Irishman and he wants to fly with us in the Bremen? I'm going with you. And they got on like a house on fire. But how hasn't there been a movie made? Look at these 3 individuals. Von Hunfeld, Cole and Fitzmaurice. The 3 of them in their own right. They all fought. They were all involved in aviation. These guys were, of the time maybe, but Cole, he busted out of prison, a POW, the Great Escape. It's crazy. And they were doing the very first nighttime flights ever. It's absolutely incredible, right? So we talk about nighttime flying, and we learned that Hermann Kohl, he used the stars and the moon to help him navigate. That type of navigation, it's known as celestial navigation. It's navigating through the stars. And this goes back a lot, hundreds of years, and was mainly used for seafaring folk. Vessel navigation and all that, right? And we do know that celestial navigation, it's relatively accurate even by today's standards. And granted, we don't need it now because we have GPS. We have radio transmitters that will give us VOR, DME and ADF, right? High frequency, very high frequency, ultra high frequency. We have all these things and radio waves and stuff. However, what if someone turned off the switch What do we do, right? So something that fascinated me, and there's a user in our community, in the flightsim community, called Celestial Navigator, but what fascinated me was Captain Seppi did it, and also Alison Johnson and Captain Arash. They flew an entire series using celestial navigation that is possible using Microsoft Flight Simulator, because the layout of the stars, the positioning of the stars, well, that's actually simulated as part of our simulator. See? Right? So you can actually navigate by the stars, which is friggin' nuts. Are we getting contrails here? We kind of are, look. So if you ever wanted to learn a new way to navigate, you can't use a sextant. I have one over here. Here's one that Mrs. Two-Tone bought me. Hang on, we'll go over to this camera. Right, I pressed the wrong button. Right, I'll use this camera. Right, hi, how are you? It's me. Mrs. Two-Tone got me this sextant for Christmas. Now, it's a miniature sextant, right? But the idea here is, lads, right, this sextant, it was and is used to measure the distance between an object in the sky, it could be the sun, it could be the moon, it could be a star, and the position of where it is relative to the horizon. During multiple times during the day, depending on your location, well, you know, celestial bodies are mapped. They're going to be in some position. And by you tracking them, you'll actually be able to triangulate your position. We're not talking compasses here. We're not talking friggin', GPS. We're talking visual references. You often hear people say, follow the North Star. And that star, of course, Polaris. Follow Polaris, right? You'll have an idea where you're going. We know that the sun rises in the east, it settles in the west. So if it's like evening time, you point yourself where the sun is setting, well, you're heading due west, right? Celestial navigation, way, way more complex, but it will give you a way more accurate fix, as in, where am I? Or where am I trying to get to? It's pretty cool, right? So that's called a sextant. It's a very sexy name, a sextant, but it's called a sextant, right? And that lives in this box. It's like the coffin of the sextant. Brilliant, right? Absolutely brilliant. So, hang on. There's also an app. But wait, there's more. There's also an app over on flightsim.to, right? And this thing will allow you to do celestial navigation. But let's talk about it first. Celestial navigation, also known as astronavigation, is the practice of positioning fixes using the stars and other celestial bodies. This information is brought to you by Wikipedia, who sometimes request money for doing what they do, right? There's a sextant there, look. It's a very complex bit of kit, isn't it? Anyway, celestial navigation uses sights or timed angular measurements typically taken between a celestial body, sun, moon, planet, star, and a visible horizon, right? Celestial navigation by taking sights of the sun and the horizon whilst on the surface of the earth is commonly used, providing various methods of determining position, one of which is popular simple method called noon sight navigation. Right? So you can learn all about it and figure out how it works. It's a fascinating, it's fascinating. Hamish, thank you very much indeed for subscribing. It's a fascinating way to do it, look. Right? There's, Mary, her sextant is bigger than my sextant, but it's not the size of the sextant that matters, right? It's the celestial body you're pointing it at. That's hilarious. Someone needs to write it down. I just made a sextant joke and it's hilarious, right? That actually worked. But anyway, here's a couple of lads there now with their own versions of it, right? So this is all on Wikipedia, right? Hey, Guy Brush is here. It's great to see you, man. Welcome in. But the app I'm telling you about, it's called CellNav for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And you could be saying, well, wait and see this, right? The add-on simulates the basic function of an airborne sextant or octant. It allows the practice and application of astronavigation in the sim using the sun, moon, the 4 navigational planets, and over 50 stars. This is relevant, lads, to Microsoft Flight Simulator. The add-on runs outside of the sim, so it requires a bit of Alt-Tab, and it was created by ElectronVault. What? There's a trailer here we can look at. Check this out, right? So it's using data, and it's, you know, it's simulating the use of a sextant of where things are, right? Are you trying to compete with the Queen of Puns? Akaria, that was really good, wasn't it? Huh? Even I'm proud of that. Hemmingbird would appreciate that last one, right? Brilliant. It's not the size of the sextant, it's the celestial body. Right? Ah, come on, right? Anyway, moving on. Family friendly. Look at this. Celestial pre-computation. And like, all of this stuff was done by Ali and also Captain Arash. Like, you're sitting there and your mind is going, oh, well, what? Right? You know, it's easier to design the friggin', you know. Right. But you can do all of these things in the sim, which is absolutely incredible when you think about it, because, okay, yes, we opened the door to ATC, we opened the door to airliners, complex flying, all this sort of stuff. Yet, there is something quite remarkable, because Microsoft Flight Simulator, along with any sort of flight simulator, navigation plays such a crucial role. Even tonight, we did something as basic as, you know, putting in our own manual route and then push it back into SimBrief. Well, this is a little bit different, you see? Because it uses this sort of jazz. So, if anyone has ever tried using celestial navigation in the sim, what did you make of it? Or, is anyone interested in learning this stuff? Star selection by azimuth. Jesus. Like, is anyone interested to give this an old blast? Because, put it this way, lads. If you ever manage to, look at the state of this. If you ever manage to, you know, fly your first ILS, you know, you break out through the cloud layer and then suddenly there's the runway exactly where you want it to be. Well, the first time you do that in a flight sim, it's a lot of fun, right? It's a lot of fun. Look at the contract. We have contrails from other aircraft. Ah, brilliant! There's a DO31 down there, look. A Dornier. And yourself. I can only imagine when you do something like celestial navigation and you get it right, how friggin' cool that would be when you get it right and you actually land where you're supposed to. Dougal tried the sextant on the boat and you were rubbish with it. Yeah, I have to try it on Dad's boat. It's very satisfying. I can imagine. Right? Good man, Super Tie. I'd love to see it demonstrated. Gibbo Ireland is a genius when it comes to celestial navigation. Right? You heard it here first. You ever need to know how to do it? Ask Gibbo. He knows exactly. And there's nothing that he doesn't like more. Nothing he doesn't like more than showing people how it works. That's a complete lie. But you get right. We'll have to learn it, right? We'll have to learn it. Because I think it's fascinating. And for sure, we'll have to put it into perhaps, did the Irish invent the sextant? We did, Dougal. We did, actually. Amongst other things. My brain doesn't get close to what I have in this, after the instruction on navigation. Right? A Scary Wolf, he does. Everyone has a long old gawk there now. Yeah. I think it'd be pretty cool. Like, some of the different series that we're doing, like, granted, okay, our ATC stuff is running on nicely. Like, we've 4 weeks left on that. What we're doing with the Bremen here, we've 2 more weeks left on this. And well, there's a lot. There are many series. Like, I've lists of different things we're going to be doing for our Monday night adventures, right? But I will find something suitable that will try our hand at a bit of celestial navigation. Right? Cold Nebo lives in Middlesex country with a sextant. As I actually zoomed past Murph on the ground, Mach 1.28. Good man. There's no way I'd be able to learn or do something like that. Way out of my league. Well, sure, listen. If I figure it out, and I'll teach us, right? Listen to Murphy. He's going to tell you how to learn how to do a thing, right? It'll be grand. What's the worst that could happen? If it's only me, lads. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Murph showed us how to do something. Prepare to get a slap from your wife or significant other. What did you say you're doing tonight? You're playing with your what? It's called a... Right? You can see it happening before it even happens. Now, look at the statage of the clouds. of the, what are they called? Contrails, lads. We've contrails here in the sky, right? Now, at what time does the sun go down here? Because I'm kind of getting nervous now. Let's see. We're going to be landing in about, I don't know, an hour. Oh, look what it's going to look like. I'm going to show you nighttime just for a moment, then we'll go back to daytime. The reason why I want to show you nighttime, well, lads, let's scan. Let's just look at the suffering state of that. This is a live presentation of what SimFX is doing. Now, we saw it before. We saw SimFX before, but it's now been recooked. Recooked, right? Now, it's still pre-release. We're flying with the Sun Kaharia, yeah. So let's just have a look at this scene here. And the reason being is, well, I want to see if you can notice some stuff, right? So yes, we have the Aurora Borealis. Its actual real position based on our flight. We just can't see it because it's daytime, right? But we'll do one of these and one of them, and let's just enjoy the scene, shall we? If you see a shooting star, your eyes are not deceiving you. Isn't it mad looking, lads? Isn't it? Stunning. Now we can argue this till the cows come home. This should be a feature of the sim. I mean, right? The Parallel 42, well, they've made it happen. Do you remember Jeppesen did this for us a long time ago? Jeppesen was able to bake in the Aurora Borealis. And as I said, this is all part of Parallel 42's SimFX. Let's go into where I have shooting stars, right? And let's turn the divil on. We should see them fairly lively now in a moment. Isn't it beautiful though? I've never seen these in the real world. I've never seen the Aurora Borealis in the real world. It's for those who've seen it, I think like it is one of those like look how good that is. You know what I mean? I've never seen them in real life, but it will eventually. You know. You saw a shooting star? Yeah. It's cool, isn't it? When is it getting released? It's going to be released after Sim Update 15 is dropped or pushed out. Yeah. Now it does other things, right? Go outside later tonight if it's clear. Yeah. Oh really? Rad Baron. I'll have to check. So basically what SimFX will do, it adds some visual effects. Things like contrails, the Aurora Borealis, tire marks on runways, you know, engine blast when it comes to pushing water and dust and dirt. Helicopters come in and kick up dust and dirt. They do all these sort of stuff. And it's a visual effects package. And go back through Flight Sim over years, lads, right? Go back over years. Well, we always had these sort of visual effects present, right? We always had these effects present. Because, well, there was add-ons that did it, right? We're back on live time. We had add-ons that would do it. You'd buy the... What were they called? Immersive packages, I think? And here's a bit of interesting history factoid. FS Reborn started off making these, visual effect immersion packages. That's what Raoul started off with before he got into aircraft creation or development. Do you know? It's pretty cool though. What's me Mac? I'd say we're 0.82, Dougal. 0.799. Niner. Jesus, fuel. I never turn off my centre tanks. I'm off. Quick. Before they give out to us. Dish, dish. Right, now we're grand. So, indicated speed 265. We're doing 428 over the ground. Cruising here on flight level 360. And we are probably 100 miles, 85 miles to Lodno. Now let's go in and check in. We're going to hold this altitude and then we start descending towards Osmad. So Lodno will be our top of descent. So far so good. The aircraft's behaving really well, isn't it? I wonder if also satellites and the space station will be inserted as an immersion package. Could well be. Could well be. So it's due to release, hang on, I have a product page here, I'll show you about it. If it's for you, it's going to be for you. If it's not, it's not, right? But look, if you have a look at some of the visual effects that the thing can actually do, it's great on helicopters. They kick up dirt and water over the sea. Dermot Gannon is here. It's good to see you, Dermot. The Auroras. I mean, that's class looking, right? And it'll also do it for multiplayer aircraft. Heat blur, you can totally adjust this sort of stuff. They call it pollution levels, but basically engine exhausts. Look at that skylight. Look at all the contrails. And that'll pick it up from either multiplayer AI or multiplayer or AI traffic. See the lines there behind the wheels? Can you guys see that? It's like it's aquapainting. So it's called SimFX. As I said, I showed it off before, but it was a little bit on the Jesus, you know. But price is going to be $29.95 when they release it. If it's for you, Parallel 42 are bringing it out. SimFX is the name of it. Visual effects. I mean, they're going back to the roots with this one. Right? Pretty cool. Now, in other news, this is very important. I mentioned it earlier on at the top of the stream. But our good friend, Q8 pilot, Sam. Well, Sam, Q8 pilot, a first for many flight sim content creators. Bar a few, right? There's a few of them up there. But he's doing a Just Flight 146 giveaway. He's flying out of that place I couldn't pronounce yesterday. But he's celebrating getting 100,000 subscribers. And this flight takes place tomorrow evening at 1800 Zulu. And it's going to be on YouTube. I've met Q8 Pilot. Q8 has been such a massive inspiration for me. When I started making all my flight sim videos back in the day, I used to watch Q8 Pilot and a chap called Thomas Rasmussen. They made some of the best friggin' videos you can get when it came to X-Plane and so on. Eddie, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. So like and I got to meet Q8 Pilot last year at Flight Sim Expo. Just a lovely person. You couldn't get a more lovely person, right? Really, just a sound gentleman, very kind, very humble, just an all-around top man. So lovely fella. Anyway, tomorrow night, he's celebrating passing 100,000 subscribers, which is like, that's huge, lads. We're Flight Sim community people. We're not Call of Duties or Roadblocks or whatever other game. Like, we're not that level. We're a very small community in the grand scheme of things. And Q8 Pilot has been making content for quite some time. He's been at this for a long time. But the style and, the information he provides, all his content is free. All of it. And he live streams regularly and he does a lot of videos as well. He needs no introduction at all. None. But just to let you know, tomorrow night at 1800 Zulu, or 7 o'clock Irish or UK time, he's on a stream. He's giving away the Just Flight 146, as well as about $200 worth of giveaways. 4 winners will receive $50 vouchers redeemable at your favourite store. He's doing a huge giveaway tomorrow night. So lads, if you get the chance, even just ramble over, give him a big hello and thank you and well done, and be sure to like his video. Because, Q8 Pilot is, he's one of the stables in our flight sim community. I listen to him. Do you know what I mean? If Q8 has something to say, I listen to him, It's pretty awesome. So, Dougal, thank you for letting me know about that. And awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And it's gas, because Dougal introduced me to, all these people back in the day. I knew them. I knew of them. I mean, I watch my own streamers as well. We all watch our own favourite streamers, right? And, at the time, live streaming wasn't as big back then. I had a couple of people I'd watch. But certainly the Q8 Pilot channel, and as I said, Thomas Rasmussen, these lads used to make awesome videos. Frugal Pete was in there, Cat Strader. The list goes on and on and on. So many awesome content creators. Really, really is. Durka, his flights, they used to be incredibly fun. Used to be brilliant. The flight sim community is small, but it's mighty. It really is. It really is. And if you look at it over the last 4 years, since Microsoft Flight Simulator came out, look at the state of this weather. Since Microsoft Flight Simulator came out, the community has grown massively. Huge expansion, right? Look at all the hardware. Look at all the software, all the add-ons, right? Look at the amount of content freaking creators. There's loads of us. And it's great to see. It's great to see because the more the merrier, right? The more content creators, the merrier, because you'll always navigate to your favorite. Do you know what I mean? You'll always find someone who just, I like the cut of his style or her style. That's me. Do you know what I mean? I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Matt Davies, of course. Yeah, so Bellins, Matt started, he was one of the pioneers of this. There was Matt, Frugal, I think Cat Strater came on. Chewy was there as well. Don't forget, Jesus, that's oh my God, we're in an Airbus. Oh no, it was an Airbus. No, it was another Boeing. Hello, brother from the same mother. Chewy started off in and around the same time. You know what I mean? And since then, we've seen such a mass of different content creators, and some of the content lads, Jesus, there's great, when you look at even watching a video or a live stream or whatever, right? But you can kind of see the levels of standard, if you like, or the quality or the fun or the laughter or whatever it is you're drawn to. It gets better and better and better. It's an amazing thing, do you know? And COVID probably really accelerated a lot of channels, probably mine included, because sure, we couldn't go out, right? And I'm staggered to see that we have still so many people and so many new people coming into the channel. It's incredible. It's nuts. Why didn't they teach you this stuff back at school, right? I learned so much from Frugal and Matt. Yeah. 100%. Squirrel used to do it as well. Now, Squirrel does all sorts of simulation stuff now. But yeah, they were the main kind of headliners, you know? And Jeff as well, Jeff Faviano. There's so many. Do you know, it's awesome. And we've seen a lot of great content creators come. We've seen a lot of great content creators go. You know, we all have our favorites, and it's class. I absolutely love it. For me, community, that's what drives me. And it always has. And look at the state. It always will. It's getting to hang out with people. Muse fan is here. Welcome aboard, my dude. Hope you're well, man. Look at the cut of this. Look at the suffering cut of this. That's freaking gorgeous. Hang on a second. If there's ever a screenshot needed, like, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to the... would you look? Right? This needs, like... Jesus, then. This needs... Hang on. I'm just going to get the old hairy plane first, right? Hang on. Because I need those would you look at the state. Look at the state. Buttons, Murph. Excellent. Lads, for the formation flying, absolutely incredible. Beautiful. And I hope everyone's still flying along. You're having a lot of fun on this flight. We tend not to do airliners a whole lot. Now, the last 7 weeks, we've been fairly flat out with airliners, sure. But, you know, it's always fun to hop in them. So let's check in with Firefly Air. This is our virtual airline. And we can actually see we have 2 routes active tonight. Look at the freaking Conga Trail here. Look at that. Isn't that class looking? So we're going to be hitting our waypoint, turning left. A couple of more guys over here. And we have other pilots active in other areas of the world as well. I love that. I love that. Eamon says, when do you think the Tomahawk will release? Well, Eamon, I have it. And I'll be showing it probably on Sunday. And definitely next Wednesday. Just Flight don't beat around the bush. They don't hang on things. They don't hang on to things for a long time. So yeah, soon, I would say, very soon. Muse fan, we have a brand new Firefly livery for the 738, the Alpha Firefly Air 2024, created, handcrafted, and painted in the nip by our very own Gibbo Ireland. And it's a special because it has, well, Bremen on the side of it, marking this flight. How cool is that? It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Murph, it might be off topic, but I saw that there's a Lego vending machine in Las Vegas. Is there? Jesus. Yeah, Kahari's is awesome as well. So we now have a choice. So for the Airbus, we have the Alpha, which is this style. We have Kanzuis, and we have Ironbirds for the fly-by-wire. For the 737s, we have Renoir's beautiful livery. We have one from Cyrus. We have Kaharia's for the 800 series, both cargo and passenger. And then we have this one. So we've like awesome choices. So if you want to grab any of these liveries, head on over to twotonemurphy.com/downloads and you can grab them there for free. So many talented folks when it comes to creating liveries, like Jesus, Kaharia, Gibbo, Kanzui, Cyrus, Renoir. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone else. Like so many. It's incredible. This is also for the 800. Yes, very good. Talking of other projects, that Tornado has a nice paint kit. Brilliant! Honestly, my favourite livery is the recent Comanche one, says the Limbics. Which is that the one from Cyrus T? It's beautiful. 2 variants of that as well. And then we have the Ali's signed Sheila Scott livery, which is there as well. It's awesome. Hey, Hummer is here. Good to see you. The DC6, yeah, I love the DC6 livery. Love it. And the DC3, I love all them. Gotta go, Murph. Great stream tonight. Enjoy your weekend. Patrick, enjoy yourself, my dude, and we'll catch you up on Monday. Pink Paddy Tornado would be kind of amazing. Pink Paddy? Pink Panther or Pink Paddy? Don't mention Paddy. I don't like Paddy. But yeah, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Look at the cut of this sim, though. Jesus, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Isn't it gorgeous? Have an F-86 flying with us. A320s, Tomcats, Tornadoes, Raphaels, F-22s, Tomcats, MiG-29 from Willow How Much. Look at the contrails. It's only when they're not there, you say, Jesus. You gotta love it, right? You gotta love it. Marcus, thank you very much indeed. Subscribing to the channel at tier 1. Cheers, man. Oh yeah, 7.5. Dave is going to be flying across the pond. Dave is another amazing content creator. 757 Spy. I've learned so much watching Dave's content. Conti is there as well, right? There's so many. Can Do, friggin' Slant Alpha, of course, the Flying Fabio. I've learned so much watching Fabio's streams. You know, just incredible stuff. In actual fact, if you go over and look at, if you go over to the 757 Spy YouTube channel, Dave has a great video getting yourself set up for across the pond. Everything from like your aircraft, your slot times, your snacks, bathroom breaks. He goes through the whole lot. Do be sure to check it out. It's class. Dave used to be a weatherman. Well, I'm pretty sure he still is a weatherman, but like that was his gig. Air Europa in a bus. Nice. Okay, Lodno, lads. Oh, things are going to be picking up. So here is Lodno. This is our final waypoint before we do the next 259 nautical miles down to where it is we need to go. So, let's start having a look. So we're coming in on the RNP. Altitude will need to be down at... Jesus. What are we going for here? Transition altitude. All right. Course of 242, 7,000 feet. Golug is 9,600 feet. Osmad, that we're coming in from Osmad, so 7,500. All right. Airport. Let's get some information. Airport elevation. Additional runway information. Warning. Minor icebergs may occur in the fjord close to the runway. Oh, Jesus. Two-way radio communications with AFIS is required. With reference to the general rules of air in the vicinity of an AD, aircraft may execute right turns when approaching for landing and after takeoff, if it doesn't endanger other air traffic. Okay. What's the airport elevation, lads? If visual contact is lost during the visual circling, intercept and follow 277 degrees, climbing to 6,800 feet. Huh. Is this RMPA? Yeah. Should it be RMPB? No, RMPA. Uh, 112 feet, Jeppesen. Man yourself. Then, of course, we've Jeppesen. I forgot to Jeppesen. Jeppesen made classic scenery and liveries as well. We have a great bunch of lads here. Navnak gifted the tier 1 sub to Abdullah. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers, man. Right, let's get into our machine here and start talking to it. So we need to descend at 7,500 feet. Now we can do a bit of maths here. However, we're on VNav profile.
Yeah, baby.
Someone's pressing buttons. Old veteran 965 has just gifted 5 tier 1 subscriptions. I almost forgot the word. Thank you very much indeed, Scott. Jesus, he just started a hype train as well, did he? Up the yard. Thank you very much indeed. Hummer, go to twotonemurphy.com and see downloads. Elevation of the runway is 112 feet. Landing altitude, let's go 100. And back into our goggle box here. So we're saying 7,500. This will bring us down to 7,500. Do. 7,500. Jeez, my hand to be tired. 7,500. By the way, anyone who's looking to get the WinWing gadget for the Airbus, they've started shipping Irish orders now. Just be aware of it. Keen Lafferty is here. It's good to see you, Keen. Again, welcome in. How do we know if the runway is covered in snow or ice? How do we know? Metar will give us that report. Weather. Metar. Current weather information. Winds 204 knots. Visibility is greater than 10. Few clouds at 1,100. Few clouds at 1,700. Broken at 2,800 with a ceiling. Temperature 0. Dew point -4. And altimeter is 1003 hectopascals. Okay, it's not telling us ice, but we know it's 0 degrees. There'll be ice down there, right? Yeah, 6,000 feet runway. We don't have a lot of Pedro Pascal's. Yeah, he's a... Wait. That's pretty good. Love that actor. What's your favourite Pedro Pascal? It's got to be Last of Us, right? Did also a pre-order of the Wind Wing. Yeah. So I got an email this morning saying that they're going to start shipping them. Right, look, we're miles up the road here. Oh, wait, what's the altitude restriction? 11,000 feet, right? So we need to be careful. We're here. Don't drop below 12, and then we're going to ramble our way in. Now, we could tune up. Let me see. That's a VOR station, is it? It's a DME. 118.85. 11185. 11185. Now, will this work on me nav? Yeah, well, 11185. So 11185. We're not going to pick this up yet, I'd say. How do we do this again? How do we do this in a Boeing? Boing. Isn't there a way we can do it? No. There's a way we can do this, lads. 125 miles to top of descent. Sweet! At what point would you change Barrow from Europe to US when crossing the Atlantic? Eamon, you're going to be above the threshold anyway, so 18,000 would be kind of standard. However, if you pass it, if you were leaving Ireland, for example, and the transition altitude is 7,000 feet, you've already gone to standard. Standard mode will be active way earlier. So you leave it on standard until you get to the United States, and only when you drop below 18,000 feet, now you put it to the local. If that makes sense. Narcos was your favorite. Narcos was brilliant. Did you look at the Mexican Narcos? I thought that was friggin' brilliant as well. Mandalorian. Nah, I didn't watch it. Live long and prosper. But yeah. How do we get the gadget on this now? I'm trying to remember. There is a way to get me stuff onto that, and it's over here somewhere. So I VOR 1, but I want DME. ADF? No, it's DME. Is there a VOR we can tune into? I imagine that will work. If we have that tuned into a VOR, it'll still pick it up, won't it? 359 on the other NDB. There's no VOR. DME is already there below VOR, yeah. Nav on the pedestal. Yeah, that's what I've gone for. So we're over here, look. So I have 111.85 already put in there. And I'll need to listen to this to make sure we're actually, you know, getting the divil. So let me see, that's VH nav. Turn you on. And once we start picking up a signal, I need to verify the Morse code. So what we're listening to, it'll sound exactly like this. Yeah, it'll be like that. So it'll be... or something like that, right? So we have our gadget tuned in. Will a VOR pick up that? DME was under VOR in the nav display. VOR. There's me comm. There's me nav. ADF. What was the code? 359er. 3. Jesus, 3, 5, 9er. And this is ADF. Okay, I'm not expecting it yet.
Can I get a refund?
No, in the middle, or did you see it wrong? ADF. Nav. What's this now? Active data or 13. What does this do? Let's not break it. No weather radar. But I suspect we're going to get that with active sky, aren't we? I think so. Red Baron asked me to post this, the Northern Lights for tonight. Oh, brilliant, Muse. Let's have a look.
Who's in charge?
Listen.
Haven't you a clue what you're doing?
I don't know. Can I not copy that? Copy. Paste to Rooney. In you go, you big Jesse. Oh, look. So this is where the auroras are, right? Response, what's this now? Strong or higher geomagnetic storm warning. Wait, what? Space Weather Prediction Center. This is interesting. In the ND, you had VOR in the button, and VOR, it says DME, but now you change it to ADF.
Dougal, have you been drinking?
I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad idiot.
In the ND. Wait now. Where is it, lads? There's a button for VOR. Is that what you're telling me? Bottom left of the display in front of you. Bottom left of the display in front of me. Yeah, so I've ADF here, right? It goes blank and then VOR. Yeah, no, I know that. 2-4. Is there a VOR LOC? I don't believe so. So, we can hit this QR code here, look. Live auroras. See that QR code? If you grab it your phone, and you go camera, and you say, take a picture of the gadget, it'll bring you to Parallel 42's website, and it'll give you a track, and it should show you now where they are. Loading live auroras. Let's have a look. Right, where are we? We're up the north, and we are about to approach Greenland. I don't know how well you can see it, but that shows you Greenland, right? Shows your plane position as well. Jesus, how is it doing that sort of jiggery pokery? It's showing the plane as well. So if I made this nighttime, lads, you know, the auroras will appear now outside the window. There they are. Look at the suffering state of it. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Gorgeous. VOR LOC right heading on the MCP. No, that's for the autopilot. I know that. I just want to get the detail up on the screen. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's the nav source. Gotcha. I never leave home without my sextant. Brilliant. Switch back to... Yeah, so we can see it there. So I'm hoping this will pick up the signal. We're probably way too far away from now. This is science. Let's see when it detects it. We are roughly 200 miles. Maybe we're 200 miles. Ian Fisher, you're very welcome aboard. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, lads. You join us as we're about to do an approach down in Greenland into Narsarsuaq. I can't pronounce it. But that's where we're headed. Hope you had a great stream. Very welcome aboard. It's a low power VOR. Yeah, like we're probably too high as well. Now we can see top of drop is ahead of us at 80 nautical miles, top of descent. Let's see how the VNAV profile takes over things. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this landing. I really am. And I think we're lucky with the time of day, right? I mean, we've been following this. Look at the Vulcan.
Allow myself to introduce
myself. Land ho! We've been following daylight. Look at the view out the shaggin' window, look. Ah, that's gorgeous, isn't it? Bit of tunage, Murph. You know what I'm saying? Hang on, we'll do this again, but this time, ladies and gentlemen, if you're flying with us still, well, Xbox pilots press 1, if you're on the PC press 2, and if you're still here for the sheer crack of it, you press number 3. The state, the absolute state of it. Colonel Fork is in the house. Good to see him, Jude. Welcome aboard. Welcome in, man. There's a couple of tornadoes flying with us, all right. We just can't see them at the moment. But yeah, no, there's a few. Murph, do I use active clouds? Negative. This is all out of the box simulator, and we're using SimFX here to give us contrails and the devil knows what. 35 on the PC, says Keen. 4 on console. 146 passengers. Plus a Murph, and only 17 days to the Eurovision. Jesus, Keen. How long till we're back on land? We are roughly, I'd say we're within the hour. Within the hour. But there will be flyage over the weekend, my dude. There will be flyage. So we're approaching top of drop here. Let's have a look. 20 miles? No, further. 40 miles, right? So we're 40 miles out from top of descent, and let's see if the VNAV profile will take over, right? But so far so good, right? It's been a beautiful flight. It's 0 degrees on the ground. Oh, be the Jesus. Look at that. Look at the scenery beneath us, lads. Look at that. Isn't that incredible looking? Clouds are starting to go away, look. Oh man, that's beautiful. That is stunning. Stunning. There is a program button on the FMC. There is. It looks amazing, doesn't it? And free try already at Lodno. Come on, Sean. Yeah, it's looking stunning out that window. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? There's a black contrail from the Vulcan. Yeah, do you see it? Poor old Greta Thunberg now would be losing her absolute mind. Alright? How dare you? She sounds like Zorro. Do you ever listen to her? You're right, Zorro. Put the things on her, right? Progress will give you time for top of descent. Oh yeah. Kaharia did say that. Let me see. Lodno, fuel, ETA 2159 Zulu. That's interesting. Nav status. Dish. Huh. Scanning DME fail. Yeah, but we're probably out of range. Headwind 34. Jesus. Weather request. Progress report. $116 to go. Should we look for now progress report? Let's see what happens, lads. Cruise also shows time, does it? To top of descent, 31 nautical miles, 2146 Zulu. Is that an hour out? No, it's not. It's bang on. So we'll be there in 7 minutes. 7 minutes. This route is awesome. It's pretty, isn't it? Or can't find the refuel probe on the Tonka. Right hand side. Wait. The probe is on the right hand side. The fuel switch is on the left, I think. Descent winds. Or destination winds. Forecast. Transition level. Request. I'd love to watch Greta watching some B-52s. She'd freaking pass out. Okay, we are 30 miles top of descent. Lads, look at the scenery, look. Oh, it's beautiful, man. Look at that. It's absolutely friggin' stunning. We're on the way, friends. Also, there needs to be a movie about the three lads. I'm just saying. It's very important. How there isn't one already, I'll never know. FMC is given out. Forecast uplink ready. Load. -8 degrees. Cabin rate good. 266, 31 knots. 2898 8 knots. Okay. We're getting there. Out of curiosity, any updates on the Just Flight Tonka? That seemed close to being done. They're still working on it, Colonel Fork. However, they're getting very close to releasing the Tomahawk. I actually have it. I'll be showing it off over the weekend and also next Wednesday. The new Piper. Greta probably has more air miles, probably. How dare you? Instead of a Z, it'll be a G. Look at the state of it. for a dramatic effect. Hello, fireflies. I mean, just the absolute hack of it. Like, do you know what I mean? Now we need to land. Don't adjust that dial. So, Jesus. We have deserted to descended. Right. Now there's nothing to fear here, lads, at all. Right? I mean, we got this. We're going to do the thing with the yoke and the thing. Mother of God. Wing lights off. Is that what you said? Ooh. Oh, hang on. Gibbo, wait a second. Jesus. I'm going to hide my face because it's embarrassing. Let us tour the interior of the brand new 738. Ladies and gentlemen, wait till you see the absolute state. Before I go any further, this needs its own music. Hang on a second. Stop the music. Are you ready now for this? We want Pints of Guinness in the chat once again, lads. Tune! Wait for it! Wait for it! I mean, look at that face! Look at that hair! Look at that Skoda! But wait, there's more. Move, you devil! Why isn't it moving? Oh, Jesus. Hang on, I need to move the gadget. Yes! Yes! Jesus! Like that scoreline would ever happen. I mean, give us a bucket. Isn't it brilliant? Right? Absolutely freaking brilliant. Worst in-flight entertainment ever. Isn't it brilliant? The man's a genius, but at the same time, feck. I've had enough of these wowdy webbles snuggling behaviour. Isn't it brilliant? Absolutely brilliant. Gibbo, you've absolutely friggin' excelled yourself here, mate. It's just class. And then we had the
Can
time.
I get a refund?
There's no refunds. Do you remember the time I dropped the box out of the back of the Skoda with my new computer? Right. And then if we move across the road, who's that mad looking Egypt? Doesn't he look awful happy? Doesn't it look like a face? Brilliant. Absolutely incredible. I forgot all about that, Gibbo. Jesus. Right. Now I've been publicly humiliated and shamed. We need to land. Where are we? Oh, holy crap. I'm not getting any VOR information. And what are we doing here? It's runway... Huh? What runway did we say, lads? Is it 24? It is now. Runway 24. Ah, brilliant. Right, brilliant.
Sometimes a man's got to do what a man does.
Right. Commander Freezer, thank you for the bits. Hey, Adam is in the chat. Good to see you, Adam. Yeah, he forgot all about it. I actually did forget all about it. Oh. Can't believe that just happened. Can't go 22,000 feet up. It's grand, Mr. Dan. Just lie back and think of Ireland. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. 13,000 feet. OB the Janie Mac. Look at the cut of it, lads. Adam, it's going well. We're nearly there, man. We're nearly there. We have the crew behind us. Hello, Fireflies. And we're going to be doing a landing here very shortly. Very shortly indeed. Took you nearly 3 hours. Ooh. There was a strong headwind. Super tight. Yes, strong. Very strong. Oh, there's a Tonka. Remember what I said, lads. Whatever time I give you, add about 3 hours to it. Go on, QC Frank, you mad lad. Look at that. Look at the state of this. Now, we should be careful not to descend too much. We'll end up in a bit of a mess. Or if he got keened by the in-flight entertainment, he got an in-flight entertainment. I did. I actually got keened in-flight entertainment during the in-flight entertainment. Keen Lafford 1, Murphy 0. Ooh! Right, now, 10,000 feet. Lights on. Dish, 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 dish.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Continuous ignition. Light them up. And let's see what's going to happen here. Still nothing on my VOR. Maybe explosions. Thank you very much indeed. Subscribing with Prime. Very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed. Welcome in. CTP will be fun tomorrow, starting off at Tower South. Did you get the roster, Adam?
Hello there.
It's Captain Alex. Thank you very much indeed for the follow. Welcome in. I couldn't see me screen. So yeah, it's not our altitude, it's our distance. So we're still 40 miles away from that gadget, but like, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see what happens. It'll be grand, lads. However, I do want to slow this machine down, so let's go into manual mode. Get rid of VNav here for the minute, will we? Although, I'm a little bit nervous. Don't be nervous, Murphy. Grand. 5,000 high mountains. Yeah, okay, so we'll go down, right? VNav off, speed on, go. Bring the speed down to something a little bit more controllable. We're at 10,000 feet. Bring us down to 5, please. We know that the sky is broken at 2,800. Speed 207. Bring us right down because we've an absolute mad devil of a turn. Horse in a bit of speed brake for the crack. Oh, yes. Look at that, F14. Oh, look at these. Hello. Right, lads. Transition altitude is 9,000 feet. Thank you, stick figure.
Captain Murphy is looking for the manual on how to land this puppy. Not to worry, Gibbo will save him with pearls of wisdom. Sit back and relax.
That's brilliant. Who did that? Old veteran. Absolutely brilliant. Ah, yes, we have ADF. Brilliant. And we're not going to tune into that as in fly it. And the reason being is, right? That was brilliant. The reason is that station is beside the runway. It'll throw us off, lads. Right, get out a standard local barrow set. That was brilliant, wasn't it? Fantastic. And so true, you know. That was brilliant. Ah, good hell, Attenborough. Right. Right, we're at Osmad. Ah, brilliant. What did we say, 5,000? Be mindful of the mountainous regionus maximus as we fly. Look at the state of this. We're over Greenland. Population under the snow. Ooh. Bring me map in here now. Speed is 220. First notch of flaps into the equation, please. Auto brake. I was going to say maximum, but let's go. I always go 2. Let's go with 2. Oh my lord, look at how good this looks. Jesus, it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Book? What's a book? What does the book say? Huh? Who's book? Did I say book? I don't know. I'm lost. Who's in charge?
2,500.
25. Oh, Jesus. 2,500 at this. Look at this scenery. This is ridiculous. I wouldn't go much lower than this now, Murphy. Well, ooh, we're turning. This is only gorgeous. Hang on a second. This needs some sort of like music or something. Yes. Muse fan, you take care of my dude. No, this is all stock scenery. It's stock scenery. Isn't it incredible? Alright, let's start bringing that speed down. 180. Oh man alive, look at that. Look how good this looks. Oh, the manual. Where we're going, we don't need manuals. Second notch of flaps. Lights on. 2500. Oh, wow. Look at this for an approach. Isn't this incredible?
And here we have a Murph of the two-tone variety. Despite the large mallet head, they still have a tendency to be an Egypt and read everything.
Oh, brilliant! Brilliant! Right, spoilers in. Arm them. 4,500 feet. Okay, let's go with that. Do we need 5? This is going to be real tricky. Blurp got botted. A bot timed out a bot. That's fantastic. A bot timed out a bot. Skynet is alive. It's Jesus. Look how low we are. Ooh. Remember, boys. Give me 3 days and 3 nights of hard fighting. You will be relieved. Oh, lads, would you look at this for an approach, though? Isn't this stunning? This is absolutely friggin' gorgeous. It's gorgeous. This is one of the nicest approaches. Don't hit the mountain. Is that the runway? Haha, yes! Runway in sight, you mad lad. Flaps 5. Oh, it's going to get serious now. Arm approach, it'll make its own glides. Well, I can go visual. Right, lads. Missed approach is climb to like 5,500 and hold at 6,800. It absolutely is. Need more popcorn. Shut up, you. It'd be grand.
Dude, have you been drinking?
I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad Egypt.
Right. Speed 170. Let's go 170. Flaps 5. Flaps 10. Gear. Autopilot. Off. Auto throttle off. My aeroplane. We're flying it manually. What level of Egypt are you, Murphy? The finest in the land. Flaps 15.
1,000.
Easy now. Go away, starters. I don't want starters. What an approach. What an approach to hand fly. Flaps 25. Bring the power back a smidgen. We're visual with the runway. Altitude is looking good. Descent rate is looking good. 6 knots on the nose. This should be interesting. Captain, I just want to wish you good luck. We're all counting on you. You're grand. Flaps 30. Like, imagine seeing that out your window. This is like coming into Queenstown, look. Jesus. Now watch your speed. Flaps 30. Look at all the aircraft in front. Is anyone else uncomfortable that I'm hand flying it? Be grand. Easy. Flaps full. Manual speed here. Easy does it, Jemima. I mean, this will either be brilliant now, lads, or an absolute disaster. What an approach. It's stunning. Like, this is proper stunning. Watch your speed. Correct for a bit of wind. It's not directly on the nose. It's coming in from our 11.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Ah, cut it out! Jesus! Cut it out! I can't be having that! Watch your speed. Easy. 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 Launch the Alert 5 aircraft and rescue chopper.
I don't make 10-4, good buddy.
God, there's things happening!
some serious shit.
Johnny Aardvark, thank you very much indeed for 39 months, Johnny Aardvark. Jesus. Thank you very much, man. Right, we're kind of looking good here for the minute. Imagine, lads. Imagine. Bit of mad trimmage. Search and rescue scramble. Damn it, Jamie. It's out of the sun. They have Battle of Britain on Netflix if anyone likes that movie. And train monkeys to fly better than that. Daka. No, Tom says rescue boat is on. Brilliant. Right, easy. Little bit high.
I can't believe that Murphy is handling this bird like this. I've seen better flying out of a chicken.
Gordon Ramsay! Who put in Gordon Ramsay? Jesus! Easy. Easy.
Think rate.
Yeah, it's grand. The kitchen sink great. Easy. Easy.
500.
500. Easy. There's no pappies or nothing.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Jesus, go handy. 400 now.
Would you look at this big Aegis?
Right.
300.
300. We're committed.
200.
Minimums. Easy.
100.
Easy.
50. 40. 30.
There's a weather sock on the runway.
Yeah.
20.
We're going the wrong way.
Hold the nose. Touchdown. Reversers. Spoilers. Decel. Oh, yes. Welcome to this place I can't pronounce. Spoilers in. Reversers stowed. Flaps in. All right. 366. Listen, we'll take it, considering they have the weather sock on the runway. Right. Brilliant. Right, get ourselves turned around quick. Jesus. What sort of a turn is that, Murphy? For God's sake, man. Easy now. Easy. Beautiful. What a location. Leaving donuts on the ground. Look at me tire marks. Fantastic. Friend to all, thank you very much indeed. 30 friggin' 6 months, dude. Thank you very much. Anyone tried the new Tornado? It's very good. And yes, there is another one coming out. Okay. APU, bring it on. And we'll taxi back. Look at everyone lining up here. This is beautiful, lads. Ah, beautiful. This is stunning. What an amazing flight. Wasn't it brilliant? I'm using a HOTAS.
Look, there's an orb. And I think Zez's been a martyr too.
Look, Zez and orb. Ah, brilliant, Keen. Did you see us? I wonder, could you get Dedicacora sound effects? Welcome in, everybody, to Narsarsuaq in Greenland, right? You know the drill. If you have lights, make sure they start flashing. Move your ailerons, the whole shebang. I'm in the middle of the runway and they're looking at me going, get off the runway. I'll get out of the way before Dougal bursts into me. Sorry, Dougal. Ah, Jesus. It was me first day on the job. There's Wombat in with the Tornado. Right. Light him up.
Dude, let me be drink.
I have been. I've been drinking like a mad Aegis.
Part 2 of part 4 complete of our Bremen flight. An amazing flight. Absolutely incredible. Brilliant. Absolutely friggin' brilliant.
Yeah, baby.
Wasn't it class, wasn't it? Look at the backdrop. The Aurora Borealis. We got some shooting stars. And we have the fireflies already parked up. Just incredible crack, lads. Well done to everyone. Superb flying. Absolutely superb flying. That was so much fun. And I gotta say, the 737 really performed well there tonight. And with that new livery as well. Oh, stunning. Absolutely stunning. So it is. So quick check here on some of our aircraft. There's Rambog inbound. Well done, my dude. Let's look at some of the aircraft we have. There's Dougal A320, Kozaki in the Horton. Marcus is there. We have Anton G. Willow How Much in a MiG-29. An F-86 by Fallen Up. Count Zeppelin, an F-86. A pair of Tornadoes, Barney and Tarnish. Looks brilliant, lads. Really does. The Limbics in a C700, the Longitude. Gregor in a Tomcat. Quasar Archer in the A320. Another F-86. Sean Dale in the other Firefly livery. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Fierce Wolf in a Longitude. Renoir and Raphael. F-14s. Another Longitude. Really well done, lads. Look at the lights. Look at that. Isn't that class looking? Brilliant. Loving it. There's Wombat and QC Frank. Awesome stuff in the Tornadoes, lads. Really awesome stuff. That was so much fun, wasn't it? Absolutely beautiful. Snow on the ground and everything. Just absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? Mr. Dan was in the Concorde, of course. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant stuff. What a great flight. That was so much fun. Vulcans. Look at the Vulcans. Beautiful. More lads down here, look. Absolutely stunning. There's Nighthawk. How did your very first flight in the Phoenix go with Firefly Air? Absolutely brilliant, lads. Loving it. Paparazzi is there. Awesome stuff. Flyer 10. Reckless Ray. Sir Scott is with us. Dragon. Brilliant. There's Cy Murray. Well done, Cy. Absolutely class. Jesus, that was brilliant, wasn't it? They're still coming in, yeah. Isn't it brilliant? So we're at the halfway point, lads. Next week, we're going to be continuing on this route, and we're going to follow along with the BAE 146. And that's going to take us from this location here in Greenland across the sea till we land at a place called Goose Bay. And then the Monday after that, we take up the C-160 Transall. And that's going to fly us down towards Greenland Island. And once we finish this trip, we're going to leave the C-160 over in North America because, well, we're going to be tasked with bringing home a brand new aircraft for Firefly Air, and that's going to be that of the Boeing 777. So our timing just couldn't be better for the whole lot, do you know? But lads, thank you so much for joining me for this flight tonight. I had a ball, I really had. The aircraft spectacular, the livery from Gibbo, just incredible. Everyone flying tonight, that formation stuff, incredible. And our backdrop brought to us by the upcoming release of SimFX. And I gotta say, it made for some beautiful scenes as we were flying along this evening with the Aurora Borealis, shooting stars, right? Some really, really nice visual effects here. Look at that. Energizer, that was class looking. He does have a landing gear. He just hasn't developed them yet. It's all right. Down you get. Beautiful landing. I'm so impressed with your flying tonight, lads. It's been absolutely incredible and well done. Don't forget, tomorrow it is Cross the Pond as well. Alison Johnson is taking us for a flight following along with the Sheila Scott series. And of course, a reminder from 1800 Zulu to do be sure to visit Q8 Pilot's channel on YouTube. He's celebrating 100,000 subscribers to his channel, and there's a number of giveaways there also. So just absolutely brilliant. A great night's flying, and well, thank you all so very, very much indeed for spending your Friday evening with me. This was super fun. It really, really was. So until the next time, I reckon I'll be live on Sunday, all going well. I need to test fly Just Flight's upcoming Tomahawk. I do have it. So I'll probably take it out for a spin on Sunday. We'll do some general aviation somewhere, and we'll see what the crack is. So keep your eye on Discord, !Discord. We'll let you know where everything is. And as I said, access to all these amazing liveries. Just head on over to twotonemurphy.com and you can get the gadgets from there. You'll see our download section. Right, lads, what an amazing flight. I'm on cloud nine. I'm buzzing after that. It was brilliant. So much fun getting to fly with you guys. And well done, everyone. That was 762 nautical miles. Not bad for a Friday evening, do you know? So until the next time, look after yourselves. Stay safe. Enjoy the weekend. I will see you very, very soon. Take care.